Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wildcat Basketball on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page and the NFHS Network. I'm David Warrington alongside my broadcast partner Cindy McCarthy, and we're coming to you live from Central City High School for tonight's girls and boys varsity basketball doubleheader between the visiting Alburnett Pirates and your Central City Wildcats. Before we get started, we'll give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank.
Heartland Bank and Trust Company is a community bank with offices in Central City and Eastern Iowa, providing a complete line of financial services to commercial and retail customers, customized lending and cash management solutions. We build strong relationships by getting to know our customers and understanding their needs. Learn more at www.hbtbank.com, member FDIC.
So back to Tri-Rivers West Conference play between the Pirates and the Wildcats back here at Central City. Played a little bit earlier this year at Alburnett. Wildcats took care of business by 10 in that one. They'll hope to defend their home court tonight and take the season sweep of the Pirates. Kind of previewing the Wildcats here. They come in 9-6 on the season. They went on that incredible 7-game winning streak earlier this year.
That's pretty crazy. It was good for them.
But then they went on to lose 5 of the next 6. They kind of got the heart of that Tri-Rivers Conference right in a row. East Buck, North Lynn, and then Springville just back to back to back.
They went through the gauntlet, you could call it.
They did get a win last night in non-conference action, taking down Dunkerton 58-31, so that was a nice bounce back for the girls, and it didn't even look as close as it sounds on paper. They really dominated throughout that game. So leading scorer for the Wildcats is Sarah Reed. She's averaging 17.1 points per night, and she had 25 last night. She was doing it from all over. Really a three-way player is Sarah. She can finish inside, in the mid-range, and at the three-point line.
Thing I like about Sarah, if you watch her play, is she's such a quick release. She gets squared up, or she's already squared up, and then when she gets the ball, she's got such a quick release to knock down that mid-range and three. And actually, 3 points not her. I wouldn't say her greatest shot, but she can knock them down.
It seems that whenever she hits one, it's kind of like when it rains it pours. So she'll hit one, and then all of a sudden she's hit 3 or 4 in a row.
Exactly.
So she can definitely hit it, but her go-to is that mid-range jumper. She's really figured out how to put that one in. And then Reed also leads the team in rebounding. She's almost averaging a double-double. She has 9.9 boards per night. And then she also averages 4.1 assists, 2.4 steals, and 1.6 blocks. All of those numbers are team leads for the Wildcats. And then Bailey Weber, the sophomore, is the second leading scorer. She averages 14.3 points per game. And she's really had to step up this year after coming off the bench last year. She'll be the first person off the bench. Now she's the second option on offense. She's done a really nice job stepping into that expanded scoring role.
I called the first game of the season and talked with, I think it was Cody and I did it, and we just talked about how she was going to be somebody who's going to be looked upon, different role, has the capabilities, came in off the bench, didn't have that pressure, but definitely probably offensively is skill-wise is, doing what she needs to do this year.
And she was primarily a shooter last year, but she's really expanded her game. She can finish inside a lot better, I would say, than she could last year as a freshman. A lot of that probably just has to do with getting stronger and more athletic as she gets older.
Exactly. And she runs the floor really well.
She does.
She gets up and down the floor really well. She's on the finishing end of some passes from Sarah or the other Natalie Noonan. They do a good job of looking up and her running the floor. And that stretches the defense and just makes sure that, makes them need to get back. So, yeah, she's really come along. It's nice to see what she's accomplished so far as a sophomore.
And then speaking of Natalie, also another player to keep an eye on for the Wildcats. This is a stat I like to see. She averages 7.7 rebounds per night. That's second on the team, and she's listed at 5 feet 3 inches tall. So she clearly does it the right way, boxes out, works hard on that end, and that's good to see.
Yeah, the last girls game I called, that was the same. She was second leading rebounder and point guard.
Yeah, she runs the one, but then gets it done on the other end as well.
And a lot of that, David, from playing and a lot of rebounding is just hustle and hard work, and that's the thing with Natalie. She's not afraid to go in and mix it up. She just does a really good job of tracking down sometimes loose balls, that kind of thing. So, anyway.
And then we'll take a look at Alburnett here for a little bit. About 5 minutes to go until we tip things off here tonight between the Pirates and the Wildcats. Alburnett is 6-8 on the year, but they have struggled in Tri-Rivers Conference play. They are 1-7 in the conference. So Wildcats looking to make sure they keep them out of the win column tonight. The Pirates had a 5-game winning streak earlier this year, but they're currently on a 5-game losing streak. So it's been a season of runs for the Pirates, picking up 5 wins in a row, then losing 5 straight, including to North Lynn last night, 79-37.
Kind of sounds like the Central City girls, kind of a stretch of winning and then losing.
That's always a tough draw when you got to play North Lynn any night.
No kidding.
And then Alburnett is led in scoring by Allie Olmstead, the 6'2 sophomore, averages 8.6 points per night to lead the way for Alburnett. That's pretty tall for any girls basketball player, especially in Class 1A, so I have to make sure they keep her off the glass. And then it was also Olmstead leading the way in rebounding. She pulls down 9 rebounds a night. That's a pretty good line for Olmstead, 8.6 points and 9 rebounds to lead the way in both of those stats. Isabel Grabar dishes out a team-leading 2.2 assists per night, and Savannah Caves leads the way in steals. She averages 1.5 per contest. Every name I just said there is a sophomore, so perhaps something building here at Alburnett, even if they're not having the success they've wanted this season.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you've got to go through your lumps. I mean, we probably can talk about that with the guys for Central City. Sometimes just depending on the way things shake out, it comes out to be a young team, and you got to take your lumps and grow with them and hope that their junior and senior year you see all that, rewards pay off. So hopefully we can keep them on a losing streak for a 6-game losing streak here, though.
Yeah, Wildcats had the 7-game winning streak, then ran into the toughest part of that Tri-Rivers Conference. But they bounced back last night. They're looking to make that a 2-game winning streak as they resume conference play here tonight. As I said, these teams have met up once this season. They played over in Alburnett back in December. Wildcats had a solid conference victory, taking down the Pirates 52-42 on the Pirates' home court. They'll look to sweep the Pirates in this season as they get a chance to do that here tonight in this conference matchup. A little under 3 minutes to go, and thought I'd take a look at the conference standings here in the Tri-Rivers West. Starmont brings up the rear at 0-6. Alburnett is 1-7 for 7th place. Edco is 1-5. They've got Central City in 5th at 4-5. Maquoketa Valley's 4-3. East Buchanan 5-2. Springville is 7-1, and then leading the way in the West is Northland. They are 8-0 in Tri-Rivers Conference play. So Maquoketa Valley won that the Wildcats, as far as I heard, kind of let that one slip away.
Yeah.
I think it was a very close game, if I remember right.
And I think, didn't they get beat right at the end?
I think so. It was just a one-point game.
Yeah, buzzer beater or something. Or we had a chance and didn't make it. I can't remember exactly how it fell, but that would have been a huge win for the Wildcats.
And who knows the last time the Wildcats beat Maquoketa Valley, because they've been so dominant for so long. Finally, they've kind of come back down to earth as they had a lot of really good seniors from that Class 2A runner-up team graduate. But still a very solid team in this just dominant Tri-Rivers Conference.
Yeah.
It's a tough draw each and every night pretty much in the TRC. So the Wildcats in 5th place, they definitely are in position to improve that, trying to get a win here tonight.
Kind of like playing out the rest of their season. They've got games that they can win.
And then looking at the conference matchups tonight, they should be able to get a game in Maquoketa Valley as they are at East Buchanan. On paper, that should be a win for the Buccaneers. And then Northland will host Starmont, and Springville will host Edco, so you would think those two would stay atop. Northland going to 9-0 and Springville going to 8-1. The Wildcats do have a chance to gain some ground in Maquoketa Valley as they have a tough matchup with East Buchanan, who almost beat Springville a while back.
That was a close game.
So everywhere you look, there's tough nights in the Tri-Rivers Conference, and no different this year. As we got a minute to go before we tip things off, the girls head over to the bench. Alburnett also doing so. As this should be a good one. Looking forward to this one. It was not a super high scoring game, but 52-42 last time. So maybe we'll see some points, see if they want to try to run up and down the floor.
Yeah. And a lot of it's just hard, depending on how the officiating goes, and if they let let the players get into a flow, getting the ball up and down, or are there a lot of starting and stopping that can always kind of lead to some type hectic play, I guess.
And then Mrs. Hackman here is going to introduce tonight's starting lineups. I will follow along with her when she does so, as we've set 8 minutes on the clock. Intros, Anthem, and we will tip off after that. First, we'll meet tonight's starting lineups as the teams are introduced to the crowd here in Central City. Quickly introducing the officials. And here are tonight's starting lineups. For the Pirates, a 5'5 sophomore, number 3, Savannah Caves. For the Wildcats, a 5'3 senior, number 5, Natalie Noonan. For the Pirates, a 5'6 senior, number 10, Bree Eschen. For the Wildcats, a 5'7 senior, number 15, Hannah Kramer. For the Pirates, a 6'2 sophomore, number 20, Allie Olmstead. For the Wildcats, a 5'8 senior, number 22, Briley Brooks. For the Pirates, a 5'10 senior, number 21, Haley Carolan. And for the Wildcats, a 5'5 sophomore, number 23, Bailey Weber. For the Pirates, a 5'8 junior, number 24, Lacey Neighbor. And for the Wildcats, a 5'10 senior, number 25, Sarah Reed. Assistant coaches for the Pirates are Josh Caves and Cassidy Rose. Head coach is Brendan Drawn. Assistant coach for the Wildcats is Lisa Reed. Head coach is Al Fear. We'll take a quick break as Briley Brooks performs our national anthem.
Another nice rendition by Briley. She does a great job.
She does do a great job, and the part I love is now she walks right into the court and she's going to be in the starting lineup.
I know. Ratliff is always like, I could never do that.
So Wildcats and Pirates set to go. Wildcats wearing their home whites with the black and red trim. Pirates wearing their traveling purples with the gold and white trim. Central City will work left to right to start. It'll be the Pirates working right to left as Reed will jump center for the Wildcats.
And is that Haley Carlin? They're 5'10 senior.
So 8 minutes set on the clock as we're set to go. Referee giving the final instructions to the players. Ball is in the air, tip controlled by the Pirates, and we're underway.
And the Pirates bring it into the front court. They have Eschen. And again, Olmstead at the top. They're looking inside. We talked about 5'10, Carlin. They're kind of doing a 2-in. They've got a 5'10 and a 6'2 in there.
Three-pointer was no good, and Brooks secures the rebound. She'll bring it up for the Wildcats as they get their first trip down the floor. Noonan has it top of the key. Swings it over to Weber, who's wide open in the left corner. Three-pointer on the way is good.
There it is.
Coach Drawn knew that one was a problem. He had his head behind, his hands behind his head. He knew that wasn't good.
All right, so we've got Eschen bringing it into the front court, and the Wildcats are now 1-3-1. Eschen is having a hard time. She does get it into Caves. Caves is going to take it in and knocks it down for a shot, two-pointer.
First bucket there for the Pirates, 3-2 Wildcats, just under a minute in. Or just over a minute in. Weber has the top of the key, uses a screen from Reed, bounce pass over to Kramer, dribbling to her right, hands it off to Brooks. She uses a screen from Reed again. Now into the corner to Weber, same spot, but she's covered this time, so she'll instead give it over to Noonan in the short corner. Now back to Weber, left wing. She'll take a three-pointer once again. It's no good. Rebound is secured by Brooks, however. Wildcats will keep it. She's dribbling to her right. That's going to be kicked by the Pirates. Eschen had her foot in there, so it will stay with the Wildcats. Brooks is going to throw it in from under the Central City basket. Everybody else is going to stack up at the free throw line. Inbound pass goes to Weber, top of the key, right back to Reed in the right wing. Weber sets a screen. Reed takes one dribble, puts up a three-pointer. It's good off the glass.
I don't know. Did she call that?
Either way, 3 points is the result. 6-2 Wildcats.
For sure. So Eschen brings it in and gets down into the lane, kicks it back out. She takes it over to Caves. They look inside there to Olmstead. And
Kramer forces the jump ball there.
Jump ball, yeah.
Got into the 6'2 sophomore, and the Pirates won the tip, so Wildcats will get it. Great job there by Kramer to force the jump ball and ultimately a turnover, as Noonan's going to bring it up for Central City. 6:10 to go in the opening quarter. 6-2 Wildcats. As Kramer has the top of the key over to Brooks in the right wing. Pass was going to Reed off her foot. Now she gets it back over to Kramer. She'll take a long two. No, fakes the shot down low to Reed. Turns around, gives it over to Weber. Now short corner to Noonan. Good ball movement by the Wildcats in this possession. Weber top of the key, dribbling to her right. Back to Brooks, right wing. Fakes the three, attacking downhill. Tries to go inside. It's going to be tipped around, and the Pirates do steal it away.
Yep, and here comes Caves the other way. She's going to get it up into the front court. And they swing it over to Eschen. There's Olmstead in the middle, and no good.
Kramer secures the rebound, gives it over to Brooks. She'll bring it up for the Wildcats. 5.5 to go in the opening quarter as Brooks looking to get downhill. Picks up her dribble over to Noonan in the short corner, dribbling to her left. Back to Weber. She thinks about a three. Now she'll give it over to Noonan. She'll take the baseline jumper. It's going to be just off the mark. Rebound tipped around and picked up by the Pirates.
Yep, and here comes Neighbor the other way. Lacey Neighbor comes to a jump stop. They get it to Eschen. Eschen's checking things out. They get it back over to Neighbor. They get it in the high post, and then they try to get it down to Caves on the baseline, and it goes out of bounds.
Turnover there for the Pirates. Gives the Wildcats the ball back. There's a couple subs here for the Wildcats. Belle Whitson and Lucy Smith will make their first appearances in tonight's game. It'll be Brooks and Kramer exiting with 5:03 remaining in the opening quarter. 6-2 Wildcats as Noonan brings it across half court into the front court. Dribbling to her right, hands it off to Weber. She has it right wing. Now back to Noonan, right corner. Bounce pass over to Smith. Now top of the key to Whitson. Dribbling left. She'll take a pull up long two. That one on the way is no good.
The rebound is Alburnett. Carlin, and they're coming into the front court. We've got Eschen checking things out there. Swings it over to Neighbor, down to Caves on the baseline. And there's an air ball.
Weber's going to get the rebound and try to run in transition. Attacking the hoop, makes a nice jump stop, puts it up. It's no good, and they're going to get Bailey with the offensive foul. They're going to call her for the charge.
I don't know, David. I had a hard time on that. It felt like Bailey went off to the side. I didn't think she really made that much contact to be called for an offensive foul.
That was her first team foul, number one, as the Pirates get it back.
All right, so while we've got Pirates in the front court here, and they're playing catch back and forth. We got Eschen. They move it around. There's Neighbor back to Eschen, who's going to pull up for a three, and it's no good, and there's a rebound by Belle Whitson.
She gives it over to Sarah, who chucks it down court to Bailey. It's tipped around and stolen by the Pirates. I believe that's Caves on the steal.
And Caves is going to bring it the other way. There's Neighbor, and she's checking things out, getting things set up. They have Eschen here looking inside. They get it inside to Olmstead. She kicks it back out to Neighbor, who's lines up a three-pointer and knocks it down.
Pirates back within one at 6-5, just over halfway through our opening quarter, as Noonan crosses over into the front court. Nice cut by Bailey. Noonan finds her, puts it up and in. Bailey Weber with her second bucket of the game. She's got 5. It's 8-5 Wildcats.
And we got Eschen bringing it right back into the front court for the Pirates. They look at the high post, and then they get it back to Eschen. She thinks about it, gets it over to Neighbor, down to Caves on the baseline, and Caves can't handle it. And I thought it was out of bounds, but they said she saved it right to a Wildcat.
Bailey Weber gets into the front court. Now she'll retreat. As now she's going to spot it for a three. That one on the way is good. Bailey Weber with another basket, her second three. She's got 8.
And Alburnett's going to call timeout.
So 3:06 remaining in the first quarter. It's Central City 11, Alburnett 5, and 8 points for Bailey Weber so far in this game.
All right, we'll give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is everywhere you are. With our online and mobile banking apps, you have your accounts at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Check your balances, pay bills, transfer money, and find Heartland Bank locations with just a touch. Bank on the go at hbtbank.com, member FDIC. All right.
Good start for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
As they have the 6-point lead, and they've done a pretty good job on the defensive end, not really giving too many open looks to the Pirates, despite Alburnett's height advantage.
Yeah. The Pirates are kind of playing into our hand, I guess, a little bit as far as kind of chucking up outside shots versus taking inside. So we got Caves bringing it into the front court. They get Carlin to bring it up, and now just as we talk, they get it to the high post. Carlin dribbles down, shoots, gets her own rebound, shoots it again and misses, and the Wildcats are on the run.
Weber has it, guarded by the Pirates there. Now over to Brooks in the right corner. She'll bring it up to the top of the key. Back to Weber, thinks about a three, uses a screen from Reed. Trying to get downhill. Nice take by Bailey, puts it up. That tough shot's no good. She tips it out to Reed, however. Reed pull-up two-point jumper on the way is no good, and the Pirates rebound.
Yep, Neighbor comes down with the rebound, and they get it to Ava Arman, who's checked in. Arman gets it over to Grobert, who's checked in. There's the high post to Olmstead. She drives, and it's no good.
Reed gets the rebound, and she'll look to run. Bounce pass goes up to Noonan.
Yeah.
And they're going to get a foul on the Pirates.
And that's what I like about the Wildcats is that, you know, realistically, Sarah's not a true post player. And I love that they get it out and try to run and push the ball up the floor, because a lot of times when you do get some teams that don't want to run like that with some of those post players, and get some easy buckets.
That's the thing that's nice about Sarah. She's 5'10", so she's bigger than a lot of posts, but she can also run just as well as a lot of guards. As the Wildcats have it in, Brooks, three-pointer from the corner is off the mark. Tipped around, and Noonan picks up the offensive rebound. Back to Weber, top of the key. She thought about the three for quite a while. Now she'll give a bounce pass over to Brooks, right wing. She brings the top of the key, guarded by Arman. Handoff goes to Kramer. Reed sets the screen there. Pull up mid-range jumper on the way from Kramer's no good, just off back iron. Brooks rebounds. Back to Weber, top of the key. She'll take a three-pointer this time. That one's no good. And the Pirates rebound. Yep.
Rebound Olmstead. And she's going to give it up to Arman, who's going to bring it into the front court. Wildcats still kind of in that 1-3-1, I guess, and they force it inside and on near steal by Sarah, but the Pirates maintain possession. We've got Neighbor out on the top. They get it inside to Carolyn. She kicks it back out to Arman, who Arman lets it go, misses, and it's going to be Natalie Noonan.
Noonan kicks it ahead. Bailey Weber runs in transition, wide open layup.
That's what we're talking about.
As the sophomore is in double digits already. It's 13-5, and Weber has 10 of the 13.
Yeah. So we got Arman again bringing it in. They got Carlin at the high post. She turns around, kicks it over to Grobert. Grobert looks to Olmstead, and she knocks it down at the free throw line.
They've been trying to go to the high-low look, and that could cause problems if they can get it to work. Olmstead's missed some pretty point-blank shots from that mid-range area, but she does knock that one down as they get to Kramer's short corner on the left side. Now she spots up for a jumper. It's good. Kramer wasn't having her jumper respected there and makes the Pirates pay.
Yep. So we're going to come into the front court here with Arman. Arman's checking things out and works the ball around over to Grobert, back to Arman. Arman's going to launch a three, and it's no good. And Wildcats get the rebound. Briley Brooks.
Brooks kicks it ahead down court to Weber. 2-on-2 down there. Weber stops, turns around. Her fadeaway jumper's good. That's 12 for Weber. 17-7 our score.
And here comes Arman. Arman gets it into the front court. Grobert, they look down low to Neighbor. She kind of sneaks in behind, and she's able to finish with two.
Nice finish inside by Neighbor. Going through a little contact as now Weber brings it into the front court. 1 second on the clock. Reed chucks the three from nearly half court.
Ooh.
Good look. Just off the rim. She almost got that one to go. But good first quarter there from Central City. After a quarter of basketball, our score, Central City 17, Alburnett 9.
Yeah, that was a great, you know, I mentioned it. I love the way that Bailey Weber runs the floor when she sees that the Wildcats are securing a rebound, especially these long kick-out rebounds. She flies down, and we saw that she got that one. And you got to give Natalie, you know, we talked about the reason she's averaging the rebound number that she is. That girl from Alburnett had that ball. Should have had that ball.
And Noonan has such a big height disadvantage, and she still just manages to.
And she just out-hustled that girl for it. It was kind of a rebound / loose ball. Natalie got it. Bailey was up ahead, and Wildcats get 2 easy points. So a lot of times we just mentioned, you know, Natalie by far, I mean, if you look at Alburnett, Natalie's not one of the shorter players out on the floor. And but it's a lot of hustle and just desire to want that ball when it's bouncing around, stuff like that. So
it'll be Pirate ball to begin the second quarter as both teams come back out, and we're set to go for quarter number 2.
Wildcats look like they're starting with the same 5. Alburnett's still going with some of the ones that they had in here that ended the second quarter. So we got Neighbor. She's checking things out. They get it down to the baseline to Arman. Good defense there by Sarah as they were trying to get it inside to Olmstead. So Alburnett's going to take it out of bounds. And we've got Arman. She's looking things over there, gets it over there to Grobert, up to Neighbor. Neighbor's going to reset, and they're going to go Grobert. And they get it down to Armin. Armin drives, nothing there, and tipped. Hannah Kramer, instead of grabbing the ball, tipped it. And then unfortunately, then the Pirates got the rebound, and they are going to call the foul on.
Go against Sarah. Her first, team foul number 2. As there haven't been a lot of fouls so far in this game, 3 total.
Yeah. So Carolyn goes to the, is that Carolyn? Yeah, no.
I believe that's Olmsted.
Olmsted goes to the free throw line, knocks down the first one.
17-10 as Olmsted will have one more.
And knocks down the second one.
Good trip for the sophomore,
yep.
As it's 17-11, 7:36 in the second quarter.
So it looks like Eschen's checking in for Neighbor on the Pirates.
Wildcats will have it as Reed inbounds it to Noonan, and she'll bring it up the floor for Central City. Gives it into the corner to Weber. Now has her pass tip, but ends up in the hands of Brooks. Reed at the free throw line, turns right, puts up a shot. It's no good.
Nice shot.
Unlucky bounce for Reed.
Yeah. Olmsted with the rebound. They give it to Eschen, who gets it into the front court. Swing it over to Grobard. She gets, Olmsted drives, but turns around and passes it up. Offensive rebound, Carolyn. And Grobard's going to go with the three-pointer, and she banks it in. So I guess we're even on the bank shot three-pointer.
Reed had one earlier. Now Grobard kind of evens things up there. Right. 17-14 our score. Pirates on a mini run here as Weber has it left wing. Her pass tip stolen away.
And there's a steal by, is that Carolyn, and she misses the
too strong on
run
the layup.
out.
Good job by Weber to run with her there and get the rebound. Now into the corner to Noonan. Dribbling to her left, has it at the free throw line, over to Weber left wing. Noonan short corner, bounce pass inside to Reed. We're going to get a foul in there.
Looks like, do you think it looks like a box and one that they switched to?
It just might be. I'll take a closer look at that.
Looked like they were playing man-to-man there. And now it just looked like there was a cut. So we'll see. They made a substitution here, took Carolyn out.
Inbounds pass is stolen.
Stolen by Olmsted. And so the Pirates are going to bring it into the front court. We got Neighbor to Eschen. Kind of looking around here. They get Neighbor at the high post. They kick it back to Eschen for the three, and it is good.
That's a 10-0 run for the Pirates, and we're tied up 17 apiece. 6:10 to go in the second quarter. And we've got a timeout on the floor called by Coach Fear of the Wildcats. 6:10 remaining. We're all tied up at 17 apiece.
Not the way we want to come out of a quarter when you had a good first quarter up 17-9. Not now, just like that, within 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, 1:50, and the next thing you know, it's tied up. So not the way you want to play D. I'll just do a quick shout out here to Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank's a full-service community bank. We believe in meeting the needs of our customers while exceeding their expectations. Banking is personal to each individual. That's why we provide options for your life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
So the Pirates were able to sustain the earlier run from the Wildcats to start the game. Now we'll see if the Wildcats can take the run the Pirates gave them and bounce back and hopefully get back up on the scoreboard. Tied 17 apiece. Wildcat ball. Weber inbounds to Noonan, and she'll cross into the front court. Has the top of the key. Now over to Kramer on the left wing. Uses the screen from Reed, attacking the hoop. Nearly traveled. Now over to Brooks. She'll take a three-pointer from the right corner. It's good. Briley Brooks.
Huge shot. I just was going to say we needed a bucket that time.
Brooks steps up that time and knocks down the big three.
Eschen into the front court. She gets it over to Grobard. Back to Eschen, and there's a steal by Natalie Noonan.
Quick hands from Noonan, attacking the hoop, and it's good in transition.
There we go. Now the Wildcats get it going.
That's how she likes to get her points, as she gets her quick hands in there.
Yep. So we got Eschen here with the ball, checking things out. Neighbor pops up to the top of the key. They get it off to the left side of the floor. Back to Eschen at the top of the key. Over to Grobard. They're looking inside. Neighbor, she kicks it back out to Olmsted, who's out at the three-point line. Let's stay out there. 6-2.
Looks like we're going to get a foul on the floor there away from the ball. And it looked like the referee was pointing to Hannah Kramer, and that appears to be the case. That'll be Hannah's first. And team foul number 3. Pirates keep it.
And we've got a couple subs coming in.
Whitson and Smith re-enter for Central City. It'll be Brooks and Kramer exiting the game.
And it's going to be a steal on that inbounds pass.
Stolen by Whitson, and she looked to run in transition. Bounce pass goes to Noonan. She goes up, and it's no good, but she is fouled. And Noonan will get a chance to go to the line to shoot two. Good hustle there by Whitson to run the floor, and Noonan was running there with her. She found her and got her a good look.
They call that on. They called that on Grobert. I thought I saw a 20. I was like, she wasn't even by the ball, but we'll take a foul on her if that's the case.
Her first team foul, number 3, as Noonan puts in the first free throw. Give her 3 on the night. She'll have a chance for one more. 5:07 to go in the second quarter. 23-17 Wildcats. As Noonan's second free throw is up, rattles around, and that one's good as well.
Yep. So we've got Grobert bringing the ball up here, and the Wildcats are extending a little bit of pressure. Looks like maybe they're going man-to-man here a little bit, kind of change things up. You got Olmstead out on the top, over to Grobert. And she's playing against Belle Whitson, tough D. Grobert's going to drive, nothing there. She's out on the wing, gets inside to Olmstead. Olmstead's off balance. Had a decent look, but she was a little off balance. Misses. Wildcats couldn't secure the rebound, knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay Pirate basketball. And we're going to have Caves check in for, looks like Armin. So Graves in, Armin out. Pirates are going to take the ball out underneath their basket. And there's a pass inside. Good defense by the Wildcats. Knock it out of bounds. They're trying to get it into Olmstead. Is that Sarah and Lucy there knocking the ball out?
Yeah, I believe Reed and Smith might have gotten their hands in there.
And there's a pass inside to Neighbor, and she's going to dump it over to Olmstead, but there's a miss and a rebound by Neighbor. Goes up over to Lucy Smith. Lucy didn't box out, just tried to go for it and isn't able to secure it.
So the Pirates end the 7-0 Wildcat run as Noonan finds Bailey Weber underneath the hoop. As Weber gets that to go, she's got 14. Wildcats lead 26-19.
All right, Caves into the front court. She's checking things out. Gets it over there to, is that Grobert still in there? Then up to Neighbor. Neighbor's at the top of the key, checking things out. Gets it over to Eschen. Back to Grobert, over to Caves. Gets the pick from Neighbor, nothing there. Eschen looks, thinks about it, drives, pulls up, nothing, kicks it back out to Caves. Caves gets over to the right side of the floor to Eschen. Eshen's going to drive to the elbow. She dumps it down to Neighbor. Sarah's there for the block, but once again, they get an offensive rebound. That's starting to be a little pattern there.
Noonan brings it across the half-court line for the Wildcats and gives it over to Smith, left wing. Uses the screen from Reed, dribbling to her right. Back to Noonan. She'll take a long two. That one's going to be no good. Too strong off back iron, and we got a foul on the rebound. It looks like someone might have been holding Sarah's arm there.
That was good. It was Caves. Or, no, Neighbor. I think they called that on Neighbor.
Yes, they did get that one on Neighbor. Her first team foul, number 4. Kramer and Brooks re-enter for Whitson and Smith. As Wildcats will have it. Reed to throw it in from underneath the Wildcat basket. Inbounds pass goes to Weber. Now Brooks. Nice set play for the Wildcats. Three-pointer on the way from Reed's no good. She got a good look but couldn't put it in that time.
We need Sarah to hit one of those shots so that it turns things on. Like you said, she's either on or she's, Wildcats on defense. There's a Neighbor, takes it in. No good. Rebounded by Reed.
Gets another rebound there, does Reed, as she'll give it to Noonan. Noonan taking her time, but they're going to say she traveled there when she was trying to get a pass into Kramer.
I think she thought Hannah was maybe going to do a little bit of backdoor action there.
Some miscommunication results in the turnover. 26-21 our score. Central City on top by 5 with 3 minutes to go until the half.
All right, we got Grobert. She gets it over to the left side and passes it to Caves, and it goes right between Savannah Caves' hands and out of bounds. The Wildcats get the ball.
Caves just dropped that one, and that'll result in the Wildcats getting the ball back up 5 as Weber inbounds it to Noonan. Wildcats could use a basket here to try to extend that lead. As bounce pass goes to Brooks. She'll take a three-pointer. It's no good. Rebound picked up by the Pirates.
And then the front court quickly here to Caves, and she's going to drive. And she's blocked by Sarah, and Sarah and the Wildcats come the other way.
Now over to Weber. Three-pointer right wing from Weber's no good, and the Pirates rebound.
Yep, Caves is going to bring it the other way here. We're going to up and down the floor. Eschen, she's going to pull up on the right-hand side, gives it back to Caves at the top of the key. Caves lets it fly, no good. And Briley Brooks.
Brooks kicks it ahead to Weber. One-on-one at the rim. She goes up. It's good. As
nice.
Weber gets another bucket to go.
That was a nice move. Caves is coming right back the other way. And she's just dribbling around Wildcats. And she gets around and gets it inside to Olmsted, and Briley Brooks is going to pick up a foul, sliding down to help, coming across Olmsted's arms just a little late.
Not a terrible foul for
no,
Brooks
actually.
either, because probably stopped the basket, and it's just her first and team foul number 4.
And we got 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the second quarter, and it looks like Wildcats are going to call timeout.
So 2:12 to go in the second quarter. Our score, Central City 28, Alburnett 21, as Coach Fear calls the 60-second timeout.
All right, Heartland Bank. Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and other services. Heartland Bank, member FDIC.
So it's been an interesting first quarter. It's been a quarter of runs as the Wildcats started on a nice run to pull out to a 10-point lead. Pirates went on a 10-0 run to tie it up. And now the Wildcats on a run of their own. They're up 28-21. They pulled out to a 7-point lead with a couple minutes to go until the half. And you can thank Bailey Weber for a lot of that. She has 16 here in this first half.
Yeah, and Bailey's doing one thing is I was going to mention, it's a couple times we came down. I feel like if we run our offense, I feel like we get into a little thing and we're able to maybe get some good looks. And last couple times there, we just did one pass and kind of were settling for like not maybe the best shot. So hopefully that's maybe something they talk about in the timeout. Let's work it around and see what can happen. So the Pirates are going to take it out of bounds. We've got Grobert's going to look it to get it inside. She gets it up to Peyton Scott, who's checked in. And Eschen's going to dribble, pulls up at the elbow, gets it to Scott. Over to Grobert. She drives, looking, kicks it back out to Scott. She's going to drive to the baseline. And they're going to get Briley Brooks. Now, that's not a very good foul right there, but they're still not in the bonus. But it is a cheap foul on Briley.
And that is Brooks' second in quick succession.
So the Pirates will take it out of bounds. We've got Grobert looking it in. And she gets it inside to Olmsted. Olmsted dribbles, kicks it back out to Eschen at the three-point line. Eschen in and out. And the Wildcats will take it.
Weber runs over to secure the rebound. She'll cross into the front court. We'll see if the Wildcats can slow it down a little bit. They give it high post to Reed. She turns, faces up, now over to Noonan. Thought about a mid-range jumper. Now top the key to Weber. Brooks right wing. Weber sets the screen. Back to Reed in the high post. Turns, takes one hard dribble, goes up with it. It's no good. Tipped out of bounds by Kramer, I thought, but they will say it was off of Alburnett, and the Pirate fans don't like that call.
We'll take it.
And now one referee is
now
going
the official's coming in and saying that. Was that Hannah Kramer knocked it out of bounds? At least they didn't call foul.
The one referee overrules his partner.
So
Pirates
it's hard to say, though. To be honest, it could have hit off of her hand, and still go be Wildcat basketball. But anyway, Pirates are going to have it. Eschen's going to bring it up here. Wildcats picking up man-to-man. Eschen crosses over, hits her knee, but it goes to Caves. Caves is going to drive here, top of the key, gets it over to Eschen. Eschen thinks about it, drives to the elbow. Nice bounce pass inside to Carlin, but it hit her ankle. She couldn't control it. Hannah and Neighbor go for the loose ball, and it's going to be Wildcats basketball.
Possession arrow favors the Wildcats that time as Reed inbounds to Noonan. And the Wildcats have it with just over a minute to go until the half. Noonan dribbling right. Butt pick handoff goes to Kramer. She has a right wing. Now bounce pass to Noonan. Skip pass over to Weber. Just barely does get there to grab the pass. Now Kramer on the left corner. Down low to Reed at the free throw line. Nice down low pass to Noonan, who's open and ready for the pass.
Nice
and she puts
play.
it in for a layup. 30-21, 45
That's what I'm talking
seconds.
about, working the offense, getting a good shot like that. So we got Pirates coming in here, less than a minute to go. Carlin at the elbow. She drives, knocked out of her hand by Reed, goes to Caves. Caves shoots, misses. Reed comes up with the rebound. Wildcats have 30 seconds.
Weber gets it in. We'll see if the Wildcats hold for one, but it doesn't appear so. It seems like they're ready to score, but now they'll pull it out a little bit. Noonan dribbling left. Down low to Reed, has a tip, but she gets it. Nearly traveled. Fans wanted one again. Weber, three-pointer on the way is good. Bailey Weber puts another one in.
Sarah Reed, if she would have caught that clean, she would have shot it. And she bobbled it, so she hits Bailey, and Bailey gets a three-pointer.
So we'll take the three instead of the two.
Yeah. So we got Eschen coming into the front court, and she tries to bounce pass it into Carlin, and it hits Sarah Reed in the foot, and it goes out of bounds.
1.6 seconds for the Pirates to work with here.
So Wildcats just need to make sure that they don't let something and don't get a foul here on a three-point attempt. So Caves is going to pass it in, and they try to get it into Carlin, and she turns and shoots, and Sarah just lets her, and it's a no good. And
that brings us to the half as the Wildcats did a good job of bouncing back after they were tied 17 apiece. They lead it here at the half, 33-21. Do your Central City Wildcats. That was a pretty nice shot the Pirates got there late at the buzzer. It was a pretty well drawn up play there by Coach Drawn. Of course, if you don't know, Coach Drawn has some Central City ties. Coached baseball here for a while.
Thought he looked familiar.
It's always probably interesting for him to come back here and coach the Pirates.
Yeah.
So some first half numbers there as the teams exit the floor and go into the locker room. Bailey Weber, what a first half. She averages around 15 points per game or so. She has 19, and we're only at the half. And she's had to because Sarah has had a quiet scoring night so far. She has 3, averages around 17. But Weber has picked up where Sarah left off. And then also Natalie Noonan had a nice half. She had 6. Briley Brooks also had a 3-pointer. And Hannah Kramer had 2 to round out the Wildcats scoring.
Well, I was doing a good job first quarter, but then I forgot to start keeping track of the points for Alburnett for the second quarter. So Neighbor, I think, has 7 because I don't think she scored in that second quarter. I don't remember seeing her score. Olmsted probably, I have her at 6, but she might have more. Ashton probably has, I know she hit a 3-pointer, so she's at least got, did she hit 2? She might have hit 2 3-pointers. I know she hit for sure 1. I fell asleep out there. Caves, did Caves have a 3-pointer?
I don't think she did.
I don't remember if she had a 3-pointer. I don't think Armin did, so I don't know. I'm missing a few points here. I'll do better the second half.
And then no real foul trouble to speak of for the Wildcats. Brooks did pick up a couple
2
quick ones there. One was a good one. The second one not so much, but still just 2. So nothing to panic about. And then Kramer, Weber, and Reed all have 1. Nothing to worry about in that regard with 4 fouls to work with going into the second half.
So after the first quarter, we were up by 8 points. And now we're up by 12. And
so somehow, despite being tied up there in the second quarter.
With 6 minutes, we said it was a minute 50 that it had taken for them to catch up with us. So in that last 6:10 of the, we were able to then kind of outscore them, I guess, because if they scored 10 points, you said they scored 10 points in that first minute and 50?
It was 8 points in that first minute 50.
Okay, then they scored 4 points after that.
Yeah, so the defense really stiffened up there, and the offense got going.
Right, after they called that timeout. And but again, I think if the Wildcats, if they take their time on offense and work the ball around 2 or 3, 4, 5 passes, it seems like they're able to break down Alburnett's defense and get some really good looks, whether it's inside or getting it inside, or doing the getting it inside and kicking out to Bailey, who's knocked down those 3-pointers. Briley Brooks hit a big 3-pointer. I like the way that offense has been working. We did force a couple shots quick, and I feel like when we do that, it's not necessarily going to be beneficial for the Wildcats.
It's kind of the old adage of passing up a good shot for a great shot, and
exactly.
They can get great wide-open shots like we saw late in that first half. Reed could have taken a mid-range jumper. Instead, she dumps down to a wide-open Natalie Noonan who finished at the rim.
Exactly. The one thing is we talked about, you mentioned it, Olmsted. I have her for 6. She might have another basket in there. They look to shoot from the outside more than the inside, don't you think?
Yeah, which is interesting because we have Reed at 5'10". Other than that, we don't have a whole lot of height. And I noticed Wade's not out there tonight, that being Coletta Wade, who's 5'9". And
I wonder where I know she had hurt her ankle.
Yeah, I think she played last night, if I remember right.
Oh, I wonder if something happened or something that she wasn't able to make it today.
But then that's a pretty significant height advantage for the Pirates, who have a 6'2" player and then 5'10", who really could just go high-low if they wanted to. But they've chucked a lot of threes, and not a whole lot of them have fallen in that first half.
Yeah, I swear I saw Coletta this morning. Maybe that was yesterday. So maybe she's sick or something like that. But, I thought it looked that we were missing somebody over there because Coletta's coming in. And I know you didn't have her in her stats because I know she missed a couple games with that ankle injury. But for a sophomore who didn't really play last year, she'd been doing a pretty good job of getting some rebounds.
Yeah, I think she was starting. I think Hannah Kramer is the one that might have started for her tonight.
Yeah.
But Coletta's done a really nice job. She pretty much runs the floor well. She gets
she's
open
another
looks
one,
down low.
Yeah.
And she's a great defender as well. I know she was pretty dominant in volleyball season. I didn't follow that all that closely, but I know that
she had a really a good breakout season.
She was one of the stud players for Central City this year.
I thought we were missing somebody. Yeah, so not having her tonight, that, kind of puts us, but kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit just with our size. But the Wildcats are holding their own. They started in there like 1-3-1. They were kind of sagging. And then they Alburnett came out and had that 8-0 run. And Wildcats called timeout, and they came out man-to-man, and they've been man-to-man since. And so sometimes, it's not a bad idea. Now, Alburnett's got to talk about 2 different defenses that they potentially could face. So, what do the Wildcats come back out? Do they come back out in a 1-3-1? I know they've done like kind of a 1-2-2, 1 or 2-3. They kind of move it around a little bit. But, so.
And we haven't seen as much tonight, but they love to extend pressure even just to the half court. We saw a little bit in that first half, but definitely
a couple times they came out a little bit.
Another thing they could lean on more heavily in the second half if need be.
Especially if they go to that 1-3-1. I love like when as a coach, I like doing the 1-3-1 half court and kind of bringing your pressure up a little bit and seeing what you can do. Alburnett seems to have decent ball handlers, but I'm not going to say they're outstanding, that we couldn't force some things, They do kind of. You did mention they were trying to get a little high-low stuff going there, but they kind of went away from that though. Then probably about halfway through the second quarter, it felt like.
Yeah, it felt like Olmsted was missing a lot of the pretty good looks there in that mid-range area, and they kind of went away from that, went more to the 3-point shots.
One kind of key thing, we mentioned it when it happened, but Carlin had a flat-out breakaway dunk steal, and she went down and missed, and it would have been easy for the Wildcats just kind of jog down. Oh, there's 2 points, kind of hang their heads, and Bailey Weber hustled down, and I mean, there wasn't any way she was going to stop the shot, but she hustled down, and Carlin missed it, and there was no other Alburnett players going down, and Carlin went underneath the basket, and Bailey Weber was there for the rebound. So it's little plays like that sometimes that, can maybe be a little bit of a spark, or there's 2 points. I mean, if we come back down and score, and that can be a turnaround, when you see that kind of a hustle.
And one thing that's critical for Central City in this game where they are at a big height disadvantage, you have players like Natalie Noonan at 5'3". You've got Bailey Weber's 5'5", and then Hannah Kramer 5'7", but they box out so hard and do things the right way that they can overcome that height differential sometimes.
Yep. And then
huge.
Lucy Smith was in a good spot that time. She just tried to out-jump. I think it was at Grobert, or no, I think it was it Carlin that time, or maybe it was Olmsted, and instead of boxing out, she just puts her body out there. It's probably going to be over the bag. They would have probably called a foul. So anyway, Wildcats doing, when you are short-handed and you are at a height disadvantage, I mean, you got to do a lot of those little things like that, blocking out, hustling for the loose balls, changing up your defenses, things like that. So they got to be pretty happy with where they're at. Now it's just a matter of maintaining.
This is a team they beat by 10 the first time around, so they'll certainly take a 12-point halftime advantage, especially after being tied up there around the halfway point of that second quarter.
Now it's just coming out and continuing execution. And I will say, and we mentioned it quick here, is some of the points that the Pirates got there on that run were some offensive rebounds. And the Wildcats were just kind of getting a little bit out of position, or weren't continuing with the blocking out that they had been, and but they kind of shored that up and took away those second shots. So that's always huge. That's what I'm always yelling at about the Iowa women. It's like rebound. And actually, we got a minute and a half. We were just talking about before the game. They beat Nebraska twice, but the first time they played at Nebraska, they gave up like almost, I don't know if it was 20, but they gave up a lot of offensive rebounds, and that was the first thing. I was listening to it on the radio. After the game was over, I watched it, and then I listened to the radio to the post game, and that was the first thing. Coach Harmon was like, how many? They only had 6 offensive rebounds this time. So you can tell that's a huge thing that coaches, really stress.
Especially when you're at a height disadvantage like they are tonight, you just got to make sure you're doing the right things.
The first time, take advantage.
And the team like Alburnett, when they do have some shooters that weren't really hitting them all that well in the first half, but they have some kids that can knock down threes, and you can't let them get extra opportunities.
Exactly. All right, so we got 45 seconds here. And Wildcats will probably start with the same lineup, I'm assuming.
We've got Weber, Reed, Brooks, Noonan, and Kramer will join them out there. Same 5 that started the game, if I'm not mistaken. As the Pirates will have the ball first, working left to right. Wildcats will work right to left in the second half. As the Pirates come back onto the floor. Looks like they are starting with the same 5 as well.
Yep. Neighbor, Caves, Eschen, Carlin, and Olmsted. So Pirates will start with the ball. We've got Caves taking it to the top of the key. Wildcats coming out man-to-man, and Neighbor's going to drive. And she's cut off, but she throws up a left-hand bank shot. Count it.
Kind of a wild one there
it was.
From Neighbor, but she gets it to go as Weber crosses into the front court. Now over to Kramer, left wing. Dribbling up top of the key. Now does a nice move. Looks to get down low. Can't finish at the rim, though. Tipped out of bounds, so the Wildcats will keep it. Pirates were in position to rebound that one, but just couldn't quite get there and tipped it around, so the Wildcats keep it.
Yep, Sarah kept it alive.
Brooks to throw it in. Nice bounce pass inside to Kramer. Takes a couple dribbles, turns around, now over to Weber. Right wing, uses the screen from Reed, stops. She'll pull up for a three-pointer. It's no good. But Sarah gets the offensive rebound. Her putback is good.
Talking about offensive rebounds, we'll take it. So we got Eschen bringing it up into the front court here. Picked up by Natalie Noonan, gets it over to Neighbor. Neighbor's going to drive again, and this time she stops, passes it back to Caves, who gets it into Carlin at the high post. She hands it off to Neighbor, and that's a travel. I thought Neighbor traveled earlier in the game, too. She's like picking up her pivot foot when she takes off.
So Wildcats get it back. Weber inbounds to Noonan. She'll bring it up for Central City. Just over a minute into this second half as Noonan drives in, now gets it out to Brooks, right corner. Bounce pass to Reed. And now nice cut by Weber. She gets it to her, the basket, and the foul.
That's going to be Olmsted.
Reed with the assist, Weber with the bucket.
Nice cut.
Great job moving without the basketball there from Weber, as that'll be team foul number 1, as well as the first on Olmsted. As Weber will go to the line for a chance at one more. Free throw on the way, and it's good as number 23 has 22. It's 38-23.
Three-point play the old-fashioned way. Like that. Pirates bringing it into the front court. We've got Neighbor again driving to the middle. She pulls up, gives it to Cave. Cave swings it over to Eschen. Now Eschen's going to drive. She's trying to get it inside to Olmsted. It's deflected and stolen by the Wildcats.
Reed with the steal, gives it over to Kramer. She has it at the free throw line, hands it off to Reed, back out to Noonan. Standing at the right wing. Now Brooks top the key, fakes the three, looking to get downhill, picks up her dribble, back to Weber. She hands it off to Kramer. Now the handoff goes to Brooks, top of the key, dribbling to her left. Picks up the dribble at the free throw line. Weber right wing, bounce pass to Reed in the right corner. She'll take one dribble, contested three-pointer on the way from Reed, is a little too strong off back iron. Kramer with the offensive rebound, takes one dribble, goes up, it's no good. And she gets it back, however, hands it off to Reed. Her putback attempt is no good, and now the Pirates rebound.
Wildcats had great opportunities there, just couldn't get anything to fall. Hopefully continue that here. Alburnett, Caves gets it inside to Olmsted. She's going to go against Sarah Reed, and she knocks it down.
Olmsted with the bucket there. She has the nice height advantage, and she does take advantage of it down low that time as Weber kicks it across half court to Noonan. Looking to attack on the much taller Olmsted. Handoff goes to Brooks. Brooks goes down low, took some contact, but the basket's no good, and it's going to be a turnover for the Wildcats. No, we got a foul. I didn't see that one. We'll see who they called for it.
That was a tough play right there, man. I thought it should have been knocked out of bounds by, should have been our ball, or out of bounds maybe by Sarah, but yeah, they call foul. So Caves comes into the front court here, and she gets it over to Neighbor. Neighbor's going to drive again. She picks her dribble up, and there's a steal by the Wildcats.
Weber running in transition once again. Her layup is up and good.
I think it was deflected by Noonan.
Yeah, Noonan got her hands on it first.
Yep, Caves is going to bring it into the front court here, picked up by Brooks. She's going to drive, dishes it outside to Carlin. Or no, Olmsted. They get it to Neighbor. They look back into Olmsted, and she's able to get it over Sarah Reed's head and gets another two-point basket there.
40-27, just under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Noonan top of the key, looking to attack the hoop, picks it up and loses it. It's going to be stolen away by Olmsted.
Nope. Got to take care of the basketball, Wildcats. So they're going to come into the front court here. Neighbors checking things out. They get it over to Caves. She swings it over to Carlin. She's going to drive, and that's going to be a foul on Hannah Kramer.
That'll be her second and team foul number 2 in this second half. Was on the floor. We've got Whitson and Smith checking into the game for the Wildcats, replacing Kramer and Brooks. as Alburnett will have it underneath their own basket.
Yep. Caves, or I'm sorry, that looks like Armin's checked in. Armin gets it into Eschen. Eschen gets it inside to Olmstead. She does a little crossover, misses it, and Carlin tips it, but Reed's there to clean things up.
Reed sends a pass down across half court to Weber, who will slow things down a little bit for the Wildcats. Bounce pass goes to Noonan, right wing. Top of the key to Smith. Now Whitson left wing, dribbling to her right. Handoff goes to Noonan, dribbling left now. She'll take a mid-range jumper from the free throw line. Her pull-up shot's no good, and the Pirates rebound.
And Caves is bringing it the other way. Nobody picks her up. She's going to take it all the way to the hole. And Wildcats fell asleep and didn't get back, and they're going to call that on Lucy Smith.
It's going to be the first foul called against Smith. Team foul number 3 with 4:06 to go in the third quarter against Central City.
Caves is going to the free throw line, and she knocks down her first free throw.
40-28 our score, as Caves has a chance for one more.
And Caves misses her second one, barely hits the rim, picked up by Reed.
Reed over to Noonan, top of the key. Sends it over to Weber. He uses a screen from Reed at the free throw line. Bounce pass goes to Smith. Now hands off to Noonan. Back to Whitson, top of the key. Dribbling left, stops, faked a jumper. Now gives it back to Smith. Over to Weber, right wing. Bounce pass to Noonan. Short corner, baseline jumper on the way is
there
good.
We go.
Natalie Noonan gets it to go. She's got 8. It's 42-28. 3:35 to go in the third quarter.
Ava Armin brings it into the front court. And there's a steal by Noonan.
Quick hands by Noonan. One-on-one at the rim. Her versus Armin. Her shot is no good.
I thought that was going.
I did. It looked like it was going to.
Looked.
Just bounced a little bit too hard off the rim. But she'll go to the line for 2. As they got Armin on the foul there.
That's her second.
Team foul number 2 as well, as Noonan will go to the line for a chance at 2 free throws. Noonan's first foul shot on the way is no good. Too strong off the back of the rim. She'll get a chance for one more. Like Grabard and Neighbor checking in for the Pirates, as Noonan will get a chance for one more. Second free throw from Noonan on the way. That one's no good.
It didn't even hit the rim.
Didn't hit the rim, so we'll stop. It kind of glanced off the backboard.
Yeah. All right, so we've got 3:28 left to go in the third quarter. 42-28 Wildcats. Pirates are bringing it into the front court here. And they swing it out to Olmstead. She's out on the three-point line. We'll take it out there. Caves is going to drive, goes by Whitson, puts it up, no good. Gets her own rebound, kicks it back out to Armin. Armin gets it to Grobert, over to Carlin, or into Olmstead. Now they get it into Neighbor, who's down in the post, and she makes a nice move and shoots it with her left hand, no good.
Football pass by Reed, full court to Weber, but nothing there, as Weber will just pull it back out. Reed top of the key now. Short corner to Noonan. Bounce pass inside to Reed. Takes one hard dribble, goes up their left hand.
Nice.
What a finish by Sarah Reed with her offhand. Gets it to go high off the glass.
So we've got Armin bringing into the front court for the Pirates. Picked up by Bailey Weber. They get it down over there to Olmstead, who's outside. They've got, I think what they're doing is they think they've got a mismatch. They got Lucy Smith guarding Neighbor, and they were trying to have Neighbor post up on Lucy. So we'll see. They had Olmstead out on the three-point line now. Lucy goes out, so we'll see if Pirates make a change here. They're looking to get it in on their out-of-bounds play, get it into Grobert, and she tries to pass it into Carlin, who's checked in, and it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Wildcat basketball.
Weber inbounds to Noonan as the Wildcats have it. 2:25 to go in the third quarter. 44-28 advantage for Central City. Noonan bounce pass into the left corner to Kramer. Dribbling right, hands it off to Weber. Nice move by Weber. She'll put up a floater from inside the free throw line. No good, and the Pirates secure the board.
Yep, so we've got Grobert bringing it into the front court, being defended by Weber. Grobert picks her dribble up, swings it over to Carlin at the top of the key. She swings it over to Caves on the baseline over there. Back to Grobert at the top of the key, over to Carlin. Caves swings it over to Armin, and there's a three-pointer, no good, and 3 Wildcats down there, and Bailey Weber secures the rebound.
Weber's going to take her time, bringing it up the floor with just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Standing just past half court, bounce pass, high post to Reed. She'll turn around, look to get downhill. Now bounce pass goes into the corner to Kramer. Inside to Reed. Nice handoff there. Looked like Reed was the quarterback, giving it to Kramer, the running back, and the result is 2 points for Central City.
That was nice. So Grobert brings it into the front court. Noonan dogging her. They get it to Caves. They swing around to Carlin. She drives and stopped by Sarah Reed. They give it to Caves, and Caves hits a little jump shot.
46-30, a minute 15 to play in the third quarter as Noonan crosses into the front court. Has it top of the key. They're sagging off of her, so she'll look to get it downhill. Puts it up strong off the glass. A little bit too strong, no good. Rebound tipped around, and the Pirates will have it.
Caves is going to come the other way, and she does a little crossover step. Not there. We have Bailey Weber picks up the rebound going the other way.
Great hustle by Bailey to get back there, and she secures the rebound as a result. She gives it to Brooks, who crosses into the front court. Down low to Reed. The Pirates were over-aggressive on the defensive end, and Reed gets an open look at the hoop. She's got 9, 48-30 our score.
And we've got Grobert bringing it into the front court, gets it to Carlin, swings it over to Armin, who gets it inside to Neighbor. Neighbor makes a little move and gets around the Wildcats and misses. Cleared by Reed.
Bounce pass down low. Weber's shot's no good, but she is fouled. Bailey Weber will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, we were just talking about how the Wildcats like to do that, and Sarah Reed getting that rebound, and Weber and this time Brooks both getting up into the front court and taking advantage of the Pirates not getting back on D.
First free throw from Weber is good. She's got 25, and Reed really is such a great passer when she secures the defensive rebound. We've seen that countless times here tonight.
She looks up the floor right away. She'll look, to see.
She has great vision, especially for non-prototypical 5, but a 5 nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly.
As Weber puts in her second free throw, 26 for the sophomore, 50-30 our score.
We got 20 seconds left here. See if the Wildcats can play some good defense here and not let Alburnett score. And there's a shot, and it's blocked, but it goes right to Olmstead, and she picks it up and puts it in. So that's unfortunate because the Wildcats had good defense there.
Brooks has it left wing, dribbling up. We've got 5 seconds until the end of the third. Weber going downhill, puts up a floater. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by the Pirates, and that will bring us to the end of 3 quarters of basketball. Through the opening 3 quarters of play, our score, Central City 50, Alburnett 32.
All right, we'll take a time here to give a shout out to Heartland Bank, our sponsor. From your first checking account to your first car, first mortgage to retirement, and all the money matters in between. Heartland Bank, people relate because they're your people. They are in your community, sitting beside you at the kids' games, working local fundraisers, and shooting the breeze at the grocery store. Start building the banking relationship of a lifetime with Heartland Bank, member FDIC. All right, that was an exciting third quarter. Wildcats are able to extend the lead.
So 50-32, Wildcats have pulled away to an 18-point advantage entering the fourth quarter, as Weber has led the way with 26 points. Wildcats going to start the fourth quarter with Brooks, Kramer, Reed, Weber, and Noonan. As they're back on the floor, Pirates come out there to join them.
Yeah, Wildcats gave up 11 points to the Pirates that time and they scored 17 themselves. So they've had 17 in the first and the third quarter and 16 in the second quarter. So let's see if we can't at least get 16 in this quarter.
Wildcats have it first as Weber gives it over to Reed, down to the right corner to Brooks. Dribbling left, picks up her dribble at the free throw line, bounce pass inside to Reed. Takes one dribble, puts up a tough jumper. It's no good, but she is fouled, and Sarah Reed will go to the line to shoot 2. Chance for her to enter into double digits. She's got 9.
I think that was on Carlin.
And
that's her second.
The second on her, so Reed will go to the line. Her first free throw on the way is good, puts her in double figures with 10. As Pirates have 4 team fouls, by the way. Wildcats have 3. So not a very foul-filled game.
It's been a pretty clean game, really.
Second free throw from Reed is good. She has 11, 52-32 as the Wildcats bring the lead back to 20 with 7:40 to go in the fourth quarter.
All right, and we've got Grobert bringing it into the front court. And this swings around to Armin, who gets it into Scott, who tries to pass it inside to Olmstead. And it's a turnover, and there's a look up the floor. Oh, and Hannah Kramer's, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought she kept her pivot foot on that one.
I did too, because it was kind of, she actually had like a jump stop, it looked like, and then she did take one step forward, but that was a tough play. But there's the Wildcats pushing the ball up the floor. So Pirates are going to come back the other way. Scott gets it to Olmstead, and she passes up the shot, and it's back to Scott, swings it around to Grobert, and there's a cutting Armin, and Armin pulls up and shoots and misses. Rebound Bailey. Weber
will bring it up for the Wildcats, kicks it across half court to Kramer on the left wing. Passes tip, but Reed ends up with it, hands it off to Kramer, going baseline. And we're going to get a foul, I believe, on Armin as Kramer was attacking the baseline. That'll be team foul number 5 against the Pirates.
And I think that's Armin's third. Yep.
That is correct. 3 against Ava Armin. As the Wildcats have it, Brooks to throw it in. Everybody else stacked up at the free throw line. Inbounds pass goes to Reed, right wing. Bounce pass into the corner to Brooks. Dribbling left, picks it up. Over to Noonan, top of the key. Attacking downhill. Fakes it, goes up with it. It's no good. Rebounded by the Pirates.
So we're coming back the other way with Scott, and it's tipped.
Tipped by Weber.
Wildcats have it.
Stolen by Kramer, and she'll bring it up.
And instead of breaking, we just kind of get it into the front court. Wildcats probably want to work the clock a little bit here.
6.5 minutes to go in the game as Brooks picks up her dribble. Bounce pass down low to Reed. Fade away. Hook shot's no good, but it's going to roll out.
Yeah, a little side spin there. Pirates come back the other way. Scott throws up a shot. No good on a sideline out of bounds. Gets her own rebound. Not sure how that happened. And Sarah Reed takes the ball right away from her, and instead of calling a jump ball, they call foul on Sarah. That's going to be her third foul, I think.
That is correct. 3 fouls called against Sarah Reed. Team foul number 4, as that looked like either a jump ball or just a steal.
Yeah, I mean, she was just swinging the ball around.
Looked more like a steal than anything, but nonetheless.
So Pirates have it, and we've got Grobert looking inside. Nothing there. Drives on Noonan, and then Wildcats are going to get the steal by Weber.
Weber, nobody else down there. She'll lay it up and in off the glass. Easy, fast break layup for Weber. Yep. 28 for the sophomore.
Wow, that's got to be a career high, huh?
I'm wondering it. Yeah. You would think so.
Grobert into the front court, gets it to Scott. Scott's checking things out. Hits a cutting Armin, and Armin puts the ball on the floor, and it goes out of bounds, and they call foul on the Wildcats. Not really sure about that either. But
Smith re-enters the game for Central City.
They call that on Brooks.
On Brooks, her third.
Her third. So we've got Sarah with 3 and Brooks with 3. We got 5:46 left in the fourth quarter, so not a lot of time. Get it, bounce pass inside to Olmstead, and she turns and is able to knock down a shot.
And they've done a much better job of getting her involved this second half. It's going to be too little too late, but they kind of realized the advantage they had as Brooks chucks up a 3 from the right wing, and it's good. Briley Brooks, her second 3 of the night for 6 points, 57-34.
So Armin bringing the ball into the front court, swings it over to Scott. Scott's looking around on the right-hand side. She bounce passes it to Carlin, who's on the right-hand baseline, hits a cutting Grobert, and Grobert then dumps it over. Good passing there by the Pirates, passes it over to Olmstead, and Olmstead goes up and is fouled. And is that going to be Briley? Or no?
It's going to be called against Bailey Weber, her second, team foul number 6.
So Olmstead's going to the free throw line, and this is her first one. Couple new Pirates checking in.
I believe Caves, Eschen, and Neighbor into the game for Alburnett.
And her second one is good.
So she makes 1 of 2 that trip. It's 57-35, and we've got a timeout call by Coach Fear of the Wildcats. Looking to see what he has left, and it's going to be a 30-second timeout.
Okay.
5:11 remaining in the fourth quarter, 57-35 Central City.
And Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank and Trust Company is a community bank with offices in Central City and other Eastern Iowa locations, providing a complete line of financial services to commercial and retail customers, customized lending and cash management solutions. We build strong relationships by getting to know our customers and understanding their needs. Learn more at www.hbtbank.com, member FDIC.
So both teams back on the floor, 5:11 to play in the game. Wildcats with the commanding 22-point advantage, and then they'll have the ball. Looks like the Pirates are going to have a full-court press going. Reed gets it into Noonan. Eschen playing some tough defense in the full court, but Noonan uses her speed to get past her and crosses into the front court. Down low to Weber, tipped around and stolen by the Pirates. But Smith is going to get in there. Great job by Smith to force the jump ball. It will favor the Pirates, but nonetheless, good effort there by Lucy Smith.
All right, and the jump ball goes to Alburnett, so they'll have Eschen bringing it up, and she gets it to Caves, who swings it over to Neighbor. Neighbor's at the top of the key. She drives left, and she's going to pull up for a little jump shot. She misses, gets her own rebound, kicks it out to Caves, who swings it around. We've got Eschen out on the right-hand side looking inside to Olmstead, and Sarah Reed has some good defense there. And
Reed
it gets knocked out of bounds.
Forces the turnover. Olmstead touched it last, so Wildcats get it. Reed's going to throw it in along the baseline there. It's going to be a little dangerous pass, but it gets there no problem. Weber kicks it across half court to Brooks. Her pass is tipped, And Smith wisely lets it go out of bounds, so the Wildcats will keep it.
Probably just pull that out, you know.
Yeah.
Don't force that in there. So Wildcats maintain.
Pirates having to try to rush things here as they trail big late. Reed's mid-range turnaround jumper's no good, but Smith with the great hustle to pick up the offensive rebound. Brooks sends a bounce pass to Noonan, now over to Reed. Takes one dribble, picks it up over to Brooks, top of the key, dribbling right. Attacking the hoop, puts it up off the glass, and it's good. Rolls around and through the hoop. Nice finish inside by Briley Brooks, 59-35, just over 4 minutes to go in the game.
And Armin bringing it into the front court for the Wildcats. Swings it over to Caves. Caves looking around in front of the bench there. Gets to Eschen at the top of the key, brings it around to the other side, and they get it inside to Olmstead, and she knocks down another basket.
Weber wisely gets it across half court quickly. Bounce pass goes to Smith. She puts up a wild one, and it's good. Floater good from Lucy Smith as she enters the scoring column. 61-37. Wildcats continue to pull away.
Caves has the ball, and she's dribbling it and dumps it over to Armin. Armin drives, pulls up for a little baseline jump shot. No good, and Olmstead and Reed battling for that rebound, and it's going to get knocked out of bounds by Sarah. They're going to say off Sarah's.
That was a good box out from Reed.
Yeah.
It was just the height advantage was a little bit too much, just the way the ball bounced that time, but still good effort.
Yeah.
3:29 to go in the fourth quarter. We got a timeout on the floor, 61-37. Central City with the lead.
And Heartland Banks everywhere you are with our online and mobile banking apps to have your accounts at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. Check your balances, pay bills, transfer money, and find Heartland Bank locations with just a touch. Bank on the go at hbtbank.com, member FDIC.
So just 3.5 minutes left to play in this one, so the Wildcats with a big 61-37 advantage. It's been a good game from the Wildcats after being tied 17 apiece with 6 minutes to go in that second quarter. They've pulled away and haven't looked back. And now they lead it big with 3.5 minutes to play.
Yeah, that was kind of got excited in that first quarter thinking, hey, this is, not going to be an easy game, but, hey, the Wildcats are clicking. And then the next thing you know, we were tied 17-17. But Wildcats made some big plays there and went back and forth a couple times, and then just to continue to extend the lead every time.
So Hannah Kramer checked into the game for the Wildcats, replacing Lucy Smith. This will be Pirate basketball underneath their own hoop.
Yep, Caves is going to pass it in, gets to Olmstead. She swings it over to that's Armin, and they get it back inside to Olmstead. She does a crossover, and she's going to be fouled by Hannah Kramer.
That's a nice move by Olmstead.
That was.
Turnaround step through and results in the foul.
Yep.
Believe that puts the Wildcats over the limit. They now have 17 fouls. That was Kramer's third, as Olmstead will shoot two. Left that first one quite a bit short off front of the rim.
And her second one, though, is good.
Inbounds pass goes to Kramer, crossing half court. And she'll look to pull it out, maybe find a guard. Bounce pass goes over to Brooks, right wing. Dribbling left. She's double teamed, gives it over to Weber, right wing. As the Wildcats in no hurry. Now, nice give and go play there from Reed to Weber.
Oh,
and
nice
Bailey
shot.
Weber gets it to go. And that puts Weber at 30 points on the night. What a game from the sophomore.
Pirates are into the front court with Caves. Hits a cutting Neighbor. Neighbor does a little running shot and misses. Almost tracks down her own rebound. And
a very quick jump ball there.
Ball bounced around, and Neighbor was on the floor with Hannah Kramer, and they are going to say a jump ball. The coach wants something else, and I'm like, if anything, I thought it could have been a foul on Neighbor, but they say jump ball. Wildcats get that.
Reed nearly throws it away after some miscommunication, but Brooks hustles to get it and gives it to Noonan in the cross half court. Down low to Smith. She turns around, puts it up off the glass, and it's good. Lucy Smith gets another basket to go. She's got 4, 65-38, 2.5 minutes to go in the game.
Eschen with the ball in the front court. Swings it over to Armin, and nearly stolen by Brooks.
Good hands there by Bradley to force that one out of bounds.
Gets knocked out of bounds, so Eschen's just going to take it. Passes it in, or Armin passes it into Eschen, and Carlin's going to drive, and she puts it up and too hard off the glass. Rebound Reed.
Reed over to Noonan across the half court line, and Got a stoppage of play. Looks like
I think they're just want to.
Looks like they are going to end up taking a full timeout. I thought they were going to just do for subs quick there, but looks like got a 60-second timeout called by Coach Fear. 2:13 to play, 65-38. Wildcats in control.
This would be a great opportunity. Well, maybe with about 2 minutes, get some of those subs in. You just played back-to-back games, and who do we play on Friday?
I'll pull it up. I have it loaded up right here. Friday is at Starmont.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a game we should win, but you got to travel up there, and you've played 2 games this week, and
it's never a bad idea to rest the tired legs.
I mean, Bailey and Sarah came out with like about 20 seconds to go in that first quarter, so she was able to use the timeout, I guess, in between quarters. So she's had about 1:20 rest, besides the other timeouts. And I don't think Bailey's been out at all.
Yeah, those two.
So and that they're logging the most minutes. So
rest comes few and far between for those two.
So this would be a great opportunity maybe to let something else happen here. So, but anyway, we got him in there along with Brooks and Whitson and Smith.
Inbounds pass goes to Reed, top of the key, attacking the hoop. Nice drive by Reed, but her shot's no good.
A little hard, yeah. Eshin gets the rebound and is pushing it up into the front court, gets it over to Armin. Armin swings it down to Neighbor. Neighbor's pretty aggressive. Neighbor likes to take to the hole. She shoots, misses it, gets her own rebound and puts it up. So Lacey Neighbor gets another basket.
Weber brings it across half court for the Wildcats, and she'll stand right there. Now bounce pass over to Whitson in the right corner. Down low to Reed. It's tipped out of bounds.
Yeah. No, it's
the first referee didn't know, so he goes to his partner, and he's going to say it's Alburnett ball.
Wow. So turnover Wildcats, not really what you want at this time of the game. Eshin gets it in here to Armin. Armin's going to bring it up into the front court, checking things out. Wildcats still in the man-to-man. Nearly stolen, nearly stolen by Weber. She gets her hand out there, and then Neighbor puts her hands up, and it hits off of Neighbor's hands, and it'll be Wildcat basketball.
She won't get credit for a steal, but she may as well have there. It's great defense by Weber as she crosses into the front court. Neighbor playing some aggressive defense and some miscommunications. Weber throws it away, trying to get it to Smith. But she wasn't there, so that'll be a turnover. 1:29 to play, 65-40 our score.
Not a strong finish here. Wildcats need to shore this up a little bit. Armin coming up here. She's just walking. She's not really, doesn't look too much in a rush. She's going to swing it over to Neighbor. Neighbor's going to drive to the middle. One dribble, picks it up, kicks it back out to Eshin. Eshin drives to the baseline. Oh.
They're going to get Reed for a foul. I thought she had all ball on that block.
So there's no way that official can make that call. He was behind, and you have a play. That's why you have 3 officials now. This drives me crazy when the officials from behind make that call. That is a clean block. He can't see, so if you can't see it, you shouldn't call it. There's no way. Eshin's going to go to the free throw line, and she misses. So right there, what do they say?
They say ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie right there. There's no way that was a foul. Sarah came from 3 feet over and blocked it after it left her hand and didn't even hit her.
They will get Reed and Weber out of the game here as Lexi Hennick makes her first appearance tonight, and also I believe Kramer checked back in.
And Eshin gets the second free throw there.
65-41, 1:13 to go in the game as Whitson will inbound to Kramer. Full court press still being applied by the Pirates as Kramer crosses into the front court. Uses the screen from Brooks, now over to Brooks, top of the key. She'll take a straight-on three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Had a chance off the glass, but it rims out.
Yep, Carlin with the rebound, and Pirates moving into the front court here with Armin. Swings it over to Eshin. They're looking inside, don't have anything. Eshin has it, gets it back from, and Armin drives, tosses it up off the backboard, nothing there. Brooks had it, then it was tipped out of her hand, so the Pirates have the ball again. Neighbor's going to drive in. She can't get anything. Olmsted's just going all crazy down in there. And finally, it's tipped out of bounds, and it'll be Wildcat basketball with 38 seconds left.
Kramer throws it in against the full court press, gets it into Brooks, guarded by Armin in the full court. Brooks crosses into the front court. She'll dribble to her right, use the screen from Hennick. Bounce pass to Kramer, nice cut from Kramer. She'll take a fadeaway jumper, no good, but they're going to call her for a travel. She doesn't like it, frustrated with herself and maybe the call a little bit of both perhaps. 26 seconds to play, 65-41 as the Pirates have it.
Armin gets it into the front court. There's Neighbor. Neighbor's going to attack, and she throws it up, no good, and there's Olmsted just standing there, gets the rebound, dribbles it out, gets it up to Eschen, defended by Whitson, swings it over to Armin, swings it back over to Neighbor. They look inside to Olmsted. She's up against Hannah Kramer. She makes a move, dips under, and gets a basket.
2 seconds on the clock. Whitson can just hold it out here. As that is going to do it for our varsity girls contest. Our final score, Central City 65, Alburnett 43. So after defeating Alburnett in Alburnett by 10, Wildcats have a nice performance here tonight. They're going to come away with a 65-43, 22-point victory.
That was a nice game by the Wildcats.
It certainly was. They had their stretches in there where it looked like it was going to be a competitive game throughout, and then in that second half they really pulled away, and it wasn't a contest there near the end.
Yeah, and Pirates kind of started to go inside that second half because I didn't have any three-pointers. I feel like I did a better job second half. I don't have any three-pointers. They kind of were trying to get it in, and Olmsted had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points in the second half, and I had her with 6 points, and she could have had maybe one more. So Olmsted was the leading scorer, but they, again, were looking for some more three-pointers in the first half, but I don't think they had a three-pointer in the second one. So Wildcats forced the Pirates to do some different things, but just no matter what they did, Wildcats were able to, outscore them each quarter.
And how about 30 points for the sophomore Bailey Weber? I have to imagine that's a career high. What a performance from her.
Has to be.
Sarah Reed had 11. Briley Brooks and Natalie Noonan both had 8. Good scoring outputs for those two who aren't go-to options on the offensive end by any means, but kind of consistent players that'll get it done when you need them to, and they did what they needed to do tonight. Also had Lucy Smith and Hannah Kramer both finished with 4 to round out the Wildcats scoring. Very nice night for Central City. They move to 10-6 on the season. That will put them at 5-5, 500 in the conference. And assuming Maquoketa Valley loses, they would go to 4-4. And that would put both teams at 500 in the conference. So Central City creeping up on 4th place, Maquoketa Valley in the Trc West standings.
And you have the schedule. Do we play Mac Valley again?
We do play Maquoketa Valley. That'll be at home on January 25th. So not too long from now. I believe a week from today.
Week,
Next
Tuesday.
So
that'll be a good game. Wildcats will have Starmont on Friday. So hopefully they have righted the ship a little bit, because if we can, that's 2 in a row right now, huh? For the Wildcat girls.
Very much could make that
and then
5 in a row with Starmont, Maquoketa Valley, and Edco next. Those are all very winnable games.
Yeah. So Wildcats have things pointed here in the right direction. Hopefully they've got things figured out from, again, it's not necessarily maybe even poor play, just who they had to play. Like you said, they had to play the top teams in the conference, and so
it's just a tough stretch when you get all those teams back to back to back. But a very nice performance here from the Wildcats. They are 10-6. Alburnett takes the loss. I believe they fall to 6-9 on the season, and that will put them at 1-8 in conference play. So we've got the boys teams out here shooting around now, as we got about 12.5 minutes before the boys contest gets underway. It's kind of taking a quick preview here as the teams get things going. Central City comes into this game with a record of 3-12 on the season, but they're honestly a lot better than a 3-12 record. They play in such a tough conference, and they've had a lot of very close games.
Yep.
So it's a young team, and they're constantly improving. It's been a fun team to watch improve all throughout the season. They've lost their last 3, but they've had tough ones. Northland, Springville, and Dunkerton.
Yep.
Northland is, I believe, 3rd in the state, and Dunkerton is 13th, and Springville probably should be ranked.
If they're not,
They are a good team as well.
Right.
And Central City was very competitive with Dunkerton last night for a half.
Yep.
They were up 2 at the first quarter, and then they were down just 8 at the half.
Yeah.
And that's a good Dunkerton team.
Yeah. Yeah, the Wildcats, you mentioned it with Alburnett, have relying on some young players. It's a huge jump when you're, freshmen and sophomores coming up from, middle school to JV to high school, playing on the varsity. And, basically we've got kind of a JV team out there, to be honest. We've got 2 sophomores.
The starting unit includes, the top 3 players go sophomore, freshman.
And then you got Marcus as a junior, who's really had a nice season.
Yeah, he certainly has.
He played last year as a sophomore, I think, basically out of necessity. Really was pretty weak and stuff, but you can tell he's worked on his game a little bit and has a little better understanding of what Carlson wants him to do. He's maybe a little stronger. I don't know. He's still pretty skinny out there, but
certainly added a little bit of muscle. You can tell when he plays.
Yeah, he's aggressive, and he does a really good job of anticipating. The last or before Christmas, we called the game, and he did a really nice job. He got into foul trouble, and then you're looking at Braden, another junior. Braden Rickles.
That's a kid that's taken a big jump this season.
Yeah,
he's not going to score 20 points or anything like that, but he'll do it.
Yeah,
he'll hit a three-pointer here.
Yeah,
gets a rebound there.
Yep. And then first person off the bench was Jayden Hanson.
He actually started a game or two before.
Yeah, and he's sick though, so he's not even on the bench. So that kind of that leaves kind of the first people off the bench is Lucas Greif, who is a junior.
Yeah, last night they just went 6 deep.
Yeah, but he's coming off of a torn ACL and didn't even participate in any sports last year.
Missed all of basketball last season.
Yep. And then, you're probably looking at freshmen potentially. I know Max Arthur's gotten a little bit of playing time. Maybe potentially Jason Rose. I don't know. He told me he hurt his knee and wasn't supposed to play for a couple games, so I'm not sure if he's.
Yeah, he was not dressed last night, but he is dressed here tonight.
Today.
So that's a good sign.
Yeah. So, you're looking at freshmen in Dayton Price. I'm not sure. I guess if they got foul trouble. But you're looking at all freshmen and a sophomore as, like, first people off the bench. So this is kind of one of those years that, as a coach, it's just every night out you're looking to pick out little things that you need to work on and get better at. And, if you can get some of those wins and be competitive, that's what you want. Because, to be honest, it's going to be next year and the year after that you're looking at, the success after, putting in a season like last year and this year.
And I think I said yesterday on the broadcast that Central City very well could be well lined up for success in both boys basketball and football in the very near future. Yeah. As it's the same core group of kids. You got the Closterman brothers, you got Mackay Benson, alongside others. Those are the core three here in basketball. Yeah. And they're going to be very good athletes for a couple of years to come. So be interesting to see how that plays out in the next couple of years.
Too, David, I was talking to John McGovern, the assistant coach, and, sometimes when you have success, like, at, say, middle school, maybe some AAU 14 and under, things, and then you go straight to playing against varsity, some of those kids have never played against guys that are 2 and 3 years older than them, and just the speed of the game, understanding that you got to come to practice every day and you got to work hard. You can't just like coast through. Like I'm coaching junior high basketball, and Ratliff and I did it last year, and we had these freshmen and they lost one game to North Lynn, and I'll tell you right now, they did not work hard every single practice, and some of those games just came too easy for them, and they're a talented group. I think, like you mentioned, I think in the next year or two you're going to see that. But when they can finally figure out that, hey, I'm going against juniors and seniors, all staters, think about North Lynn, who they're playing against, and, Alburnett here tonight. You look at some of these juniors and seniors that Alburnett has, and I look at, Matt Klosterman down there, and then, he's going up against some of these guys, and, you can talk about Springville a little bit, but anyway, at East Buck, I think's got a good team this year for boys.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
So some of it's just a kind of a learning curve, and when they figure that out, hopefully the switch, just kind of clicks, and we'll start seeing really a lot of good stuff. So. And
there really is such a big jump going from the 8th grade level to your freshman year if you're playing on the varsity.
Yeah.
I remember summer going into my freshman year, I was playing some summer basketball against, I think it was Springville, and I look over and the kid I'm going to box out has a full beard, and I'm like,
and you're
I was playing against 14, 13-year-olds before that. So it's a huge jump that you have to take.
Yeah, yeah. And, just the strength-wise, and, I'm not even saying if they're working out, but just think, you think of as you're in 8th grade going into as a freshman and then going up against a senior, they got 4 years of maturity. There's a reason the NCAA says in football you have to stay in college for at least 2 years before you go start banging up against 30-year-old guys. But it's though too how they we can talk about Matt Klosterman. He's the freshman, and I feel like I've seen growth in his game just from the games that I've seen. He's starting to figure things out. I've talked to Carlson a little bit, and it takes a little bit to get your game up to that level and understand what the coach wants and know what you have to do. And Matt's a hard worker. They said, this summer he was at all the workouts and then always came back in the afternoon for some extra shooting and so he's got what it takes. I think a lot of these underclassmen have what it takes. It's just a matter of not getting discouraged in a season like this, and maybe even last year, like Aiden and Mackay and them, winning only a couple games. But I think they're going to get some more wins this year.
Yeah, for sure. They've already got 3, which is 3 times more than they
right.
had last year.
Yeah.
And there's some very winnable games remaining on the ledger for them, so they should be able to get some wins.
Right.
Looking at some numbers for Central City, just to give you an idea of who's doing what. Mackay Benton's led the way. He's averaging 13.2 a game. Just a sophomore, but he's done a good job. He had 8 within the first minute or two last night. I think he only finished with 12 or 14, but that's still a good scoring output, and he can get hot.
Yeah.
He's a big kid. He's 6'3". He's got a good, strong frame to him, but he can also stretch out and go to the three-point line. So he's a big kid to have in there. And then Matthew and Aiden, Matthew the freshman, Klosterman brother, while Aiden's the sophomore. They both average right at 10.8 points per night. That's a good 1-2 punch to have in your guard court. Those two have done a good job this season. Well, the Wildcats are 3-12. Alburnett is 8-4, so this is a very mature team. They've got a lot of upperclassmen out there. One thing interesting to note about them is they lost to North Lynn last night 85-49, but also they defeated Edgewood Colesburg 51-50, and that was the first game for Edco, if I'm not mistaken, after Edco beat North Lynn.
I did not know that.
So that's just how crazy the Tri-Rivers can be. Andrew Osman's going to lead the way for the Pirates. He averages 17.6 a night, as well as a team-high 6.4 rebounds. Mason Neighbors, a leading assist man at 3.1 per contest, while Anthony Yamilkowski averages 1.2 blocks per night. Got to watch out for him down low. And these teams did meet earlier this season in Alburnett. It was a game where the Wildcats were competitive for quite some time from what I've heard. They ultimately fell 62-46, but from what I've been told about the game, it was a nice competitive game for a lot of that first half into the second half.
Yep.
So that's what you love to see, going against a much older, more mature team, being able to stay competitive in that environment, especially
at home at Alburnett.
And playing at Alburnett for my year in high school, they have a fantastic student section. At least they did when I was in high school. I haven't been there in a year or so I can't say, but
it's tough to play at Alburnett. It was always kind of always seemed like a rough game, maybe not a lot of calls.
It's always physical.
Yeah,
and they let you play.
Yep.
So while we got some time, we'll take a look at the Trc West standings in the Tri-Rivers West. Starmont is at 8th place at 0-6. Central City is 1-6. They are in 7th place. East Buchanan's 1-5. Maquoketa Valley is 3-3. Alburnett and Springville are both 5-2. Edgewood Colesburg is in 2nd place at 5-1. And North Lynn is the leader in the Tri-Rivers West. They are 6-1. That one loss coming to Edco, while Edco's one loss is to Alburnett. So interesting how that kind of all plays out.
Yeah.
In the west side of the Tri-Rivers Conference. It's just such a tough conference. You have to be ready to go every single night.
Yep.
If you're not, then you will have to pay for it, and North Lynn clearly learned that lesson earlier this year.
Yeah.
As you know, that was their first regular season conference loss since 2014.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
And
Alburnett defeated Edco straight off of that.
Yeah.
So just a lot of different ways this conference can go.
Yep. Well, actually, we played Edco after that.
Oh, okay.
Edco, wasn't that right before Christmas break?
Yeah, yes, it was.
And then that was the first game after Christmas break.
And then we played them on the Tuesday, and then it was the Friday that Alburnett got them. Okay.
Cody and I called that game, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And, though I will say, David, I don't know if you've seen Edco play.
I have not.
The big thing was, they've got 12 seniors, and that's all they have on varsity are those 12 seniors. But I will say they are not deep. Just because you have 12 seniors doesn't mean you have 12 guys who are good. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but you've played sports long enough to know that, sometimes there are sophomores and juniors that are better than some of these seniors. And for whatever, they've kept this senior core group, but they only went maybe maybe 8 deep. I mean, and 7 for sure. They had a guard that they brought in, and they had another, like kind of an inside guy. And then I think some foul trouble forced that 8th person in. But like when you go past their 8th person, they're not. There's a huge drop off. I'll just put it that way. There is a big drop off. So if there's foul trouble, I could see where Edco could potentially go down. So.
And now we're just about set to meet tonight's starting lineups as the 15 minutes have run off. 8 minutes set on the clock, and we will meet tonight's starting lineups between the Pirates and the Wildcats. I think the Wildcats probably going to go with that same group they went with last night, as Hanson's still not here, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
As Mrs. Hackman will read off our starting lineups, I will follow along here in just a moment. Should be in for a good Tri-Rivers West matchup. Alburnett Pirates and Central City Wildcats, always a physical game between these two, and I would expect no different here tonight. Nice round of applause from Alburnett fans as Alburnett's introduced, and Central City fans for the Wildcats. And now here are tonight's starting lineups. For the Pirates, 6'3" sophomore, number 5, Braden Osborne. For the Wildcats, a 5'10" freshman, number 1, Matthew Klosterman. For the Pirates, a 6'3" senior, number 10, Andrew Osman. For the Wildcats, a 5'9" sophomore, number 2, Aiden Klosterman. For the Pirates, a 5'11" senior, number 12, Gavin Sokup. For the Wildcats, a 6'3" sophomore, number 23, Makai Benton. For the Pirates, a 6'1" junior, number 20, Mason Neighbor. For the Wildcats, 6' junior, number 30, Braden Rickles. And for the Pirates, 6'5" senior, number 33, Anthony Yamelkowski. And for the Wildcats, a 6'3" junior, number 34, Marcus Shellhorn. Assistant coaches for the Pirates are Ryan Gable, Brian Huber, and Alec Phillip. Head coach is Jeff Christofferson. Assistant coach for the Wildcats is John McGovern. Central City's head coach is Tanner Carlson. So there are your starting lineups. Osborne, Osman, Sokup, Neighbor, and Yamelkowski for Alburnett. Wildcats going with the Klostermans, Rickles, Shellhorn, and Benton.
Pretty much the same starting lineup that they've had all year, isn't it?
Yeah, for the most part.
Wildcats?
They've plugged here and there, but this has been the core 5.
Yeah.
So Wildcats in their home whites work left to right. Pirates in their traveling purples work right to left. Opening tip by Yamelkowski's out of bounds.
And it looks like it's going to be Whites basketball, so Wildcats are going to get it. Wildcats in the white uniforms with the black numbers. Red trim on the shorts, and Rickles gets it into Matt Klosterman. Matt's checking things out. Pirates open up in a man-to-man. They get it to Makai Benton. And there's a wheel around there, and they swing it around, and Aiden Klosterman has it in the wing, and he drives in, and it's blocked.
Blocked by Sokup. He sends it over to Osman. Osman going to the rim. He puts it up. No good. Rebounded by Benton.
Yep. And Wildcats going both ends. There seemed to be a lot of contact, nothing called. So a little different than the girls' game.
That's how it goes in these games. Usually a lot of contact, no calls.
Yep. And Matt is going to get it to his brother Aiden, who swings it over to Braden Rickles, and then out to Shellhorn. He dribbles to the top of the key, swings it over to Rickles. Rickles going to drive the middle, and it looks like they're going to call that on Alburnett. We'll take that, a little reach.
That will be the first foul on either side so far. Waiting to see who it was on. It was on Sokup, his first.
Wildcats inbound it. Aiden Klosterman checks out a 3, but he doesn't have it, and nope, measures it up again, doesn't take it, but his brother Will hits the front of the rim, and that's got to be out. Now, how's that not out of bounds on number 5?
Wow, that was...
5 was pushing off Makai to keep the ball in play, and it went out of bounds, and they give it to the Pirates. Wow.
Interesting. There wasn't a lot of argument on that one, but
yeah,
it looked like Osborne touched it.
Yeah,
nonetheless, Alburnett ball as Osborne has it, driving high post, over to Neighbor on the left wing. Down low to Yamelkowski. He has it tipped around. Good defense by Shellhorn. Yamelkowski loses it, picked up by Osman on the right corner. Nice back cut by Osman. Yamelkowski finds him, but he drops it, and Benton comes up with the steal.
Wildcats in a 2-3 zone there. hot potato by the Pirates. Matt Klosterman's going to bring it in, dribble. He gets knocked out of his hands.
Stolen by Osman.
Yeah.
Down low to Sokup, nearly loses it, gets it over to Neighbor. He'll take a three-pointer from the left corner. That's good as Mason Neighbor gets the Pirates on the board, 3-0 Alburnett.
So Matt Klosterman, the freshman point guard, brings it up into the front court. He's going to attack, dishes it out to his brother. Aiden checks things out, swings it over to Makai Benton. Makai drives, pulls it up the free throw line, gets it to Matt. Matt's going to drive, bounce pass to Aiden. Aiden thinks about it, and he drives in, and he gets it. Nice little shot there by Aiden.
3-2 Alburnett. Sokup has it in the front court right wing. Now over to Neighbor. Top of the key to Osman. Osborne left wing. Dribbling right. Gets past the defense. Goes up and through. Braden Osborne, 6'3 sophomore with his first basket. 5-2 Alburnett. Coach Carlson sounds like he's calling a set play from the sideline.
Yep. Matt's going to bring it into the front court. Gets it to Aiden. Aiden dribbles top of the key. Gets it back over to Matt. There's a cut. Nothing there. Makai sets a pick for Matt. He's going to pull up in the middle of the lane, hits the front of the rim, and bounces off.
Osborne secures the rebound. He'll run in transition. Gives it over to Yamakowski, right wing. Down low to Osman. Takes one hard dribble. Back to Osborne. Fakes a three. Gets past Rickles. And we've got 3 seconds in the lane. I think Osman was in there a little bit too long. So it's going to be Central City ball after the 3-second violation.
So we got Braden getting it into Matt. Matt's going to, looks like Alburnett's kind of extending. We were just talking about that, a 1-3-1, kind of a half-court trap. Matt dribbles through it, gets it to Shellhorn in the baseline. He tries to do a long baseline pass, stolen by Alburnett.
Neighbor bringing it up for the Pirates over to Osborne, left corner. He's got an open look from three. He'll take it. He can't get it to go off front of the rim.
Matt Klosterman with the rebound, and he's running the other way. And he pulls it back out, lets all the Wildcats catch up. Swings it up to Makai Benton at the top of the key. Makai's dribbles, goes to the elbow, and he's going to pull up and forces a shot a little bit.
Rebounded by Neighbor as Alburnett has it back across half court to Osman on the left wing. Back to Neighbor. Left corner to Osman. He'll attack baseline. Gets to the rim. Puts it up. No good off the glass. Gets his own rebound. Goes down for one hard dribble. Now we'll go back up. Has it blocked by Benton. Gets it back once again over to Sokup. Fakes a three right wing. We have a foul called against the Wildcats.
Wow. If the Wildcats just could have got it, could have swung over there and got that rebound. Now, instead, Matt Klosterman's going to pick up his first foul.
As Titan Bowers will enter the game for the Pirates. 6'8" junior. And he looks every bit of 6'8", standing there at the block.
Yeah, he does.
Inbounds pass goes to Neighbor, right corner. Top of the key to Sokup. Over to Bowers, left wing. Top of the key to Osborne. Takes a couple dribbles. Down low to Bowers. Fakes a shot. Goes up with no good, but he is fouled. They're going to get Marcus Shellhorn for the foul. As that'll be the Wildcats' second. Shellhorn's first. I believe Klosterman. That's Matthew Klosterman got the other one.
Yeah. The thing that I've noticed with Marcus, because he got in foul trouble against that Edco game, is he does come over there and he does establish pretty good position, but he does bring his arms like down on into the defender. If he would just like stand up and, you know, hey, if the kid shoots over you and makes it, he shoots over you and he makes it, you know?
And that's so tough because it's almost like a force of habit or just an instinct. But you're absolutely right.
But well, you know, but I will say, you know, when you know you have a short bench like this, those are those fouls just like, hey, just, you know, stay there. But, yeah, you're right. You do want to kind of try to deflect the ball or something.
Bowers makes one of two as Jordan Caton, the 5'8" sophomore, checked in at the dead ball. 6'2" Alburnett.
So Wildcats bring it up. They get it to Shellhorn in the front court, break that 1-3-1 trap. They get it over to Makai Benton on the wing, and they say that's a three-pointer.
Like we said,
he was out there.
Can stretch it out to that three-point line, and he knocks one down there, 6'5". Wildcats within one, but Mason Neighbor's going to put up a three-pointer. He can't get it to go, and Shellhorn rebounds.
The Wildcats are coming the other way. Matt's just kind of walking it up here. I don't know that the Wildcats want to get into a running game, so they're taking their time. Makai's going to set a pick, double pick here by Shellhorn. Matt drives, kicks it over to Rickles. Rickles doesn't have anything, and then Aiden Klosterman's going to spot up, and there's a three-pointer for Aiden.
Wildcats take the 8-6 advantage as Caton brings it up for the Pirates. Over to Neighbor on the left wing. Caton top of the key. Now over to Osborne right wing. Uses a screen from Osman. Attacking downhill. Nice pass there to Bowers. Down low. Goes into Shellhorn a little bit. Puts it up. No good. Tipped around. Gets his own rebound. No. Tipped out by Benton. But ends up in the hands of Osman. Top of the key to Osborne. Now Caton left wing. Gets to the rim. Nice take. His layup's too strong. No good. Rebound is going to be tipped around, and they're going to have a foul on the floor.
And they're going to call it on the Wildcats.
And that's just so tough to keep that big 6'8" Titan Bowers off the glass.
And that's going to be on Marcus, and there's
There's two quick ones. I heard Coach Carlson just say, Marcus, just play. So he's just going to have to play smart here.
Yep. That's a little bit what we were talking about. But unfortunately, you know, Marcus is picking up that foul, and that was the third offensive attempt. You know, that's where sometimes it's like they're playing man-to-man. Block out and get your rebound. And then maybe, you know, Marcus doesn't pick that up. But
Adam Neighbor checked into the game for the Pirates. He threw the inbounds pass. Osman's shot is no good.
And Makai Benton with the rebound. Wildcats here going to come the other way, up 8-6 with 2:45 left here in the first quarter. Gets a pick by his brother, Matt does, and he's going to drive to the right. And it's a little wheel thing, and Braden Rickles loses the ball. And
Osman tried to dunk it, but it didn't get up high enough, and it's no good.
Matt Klossman with the rebound. Makai gets it inside to Shellhorn, and they got tipped out of bounds, it looks like. And
Coach Christofferson did not like that attempted dunk as Osman comes right out of the game, replaced by Yamelkoski. Sokup also replacing Caton for the Pirates.
Yep. So Wildcats maintain it, knocked out of bounds, out of Marcus's hands. They get it inside to Aiden. He is going to turn it over. And Alburnett's coming the other way.
Neighbor goes up. It's going to be good off the glass as Adam Neighbor gets his first bucket.
Yep. We're
all tied up 8 apiece.
Bad pass by Aiden, and it went into the back court. And Alburnett took advantage. And there's a nice look by Matt down to Makai Ben. He tried to just catch and shoot, missed, but he stuck with it, got his own rebound, and scored.
Osborne top of the key. Wildcats up 10-8. Yamelkoski in the short corner. Now over to Sokup attacking. Top of the key to Adam Neighbor. And he'll pull it out. Pirates look to run a set play, it looks like. I think the Wildcats actually have the same play in their arsenal as Osborne goes up with the shot. It's no good. Rebound tipped around and picked up by Matthew Klosterman.
Tipped by Braden Rickles and picked up by Matt. Matt's going to bring it into the front court. And he drives, but nothing's there. Kicks it over to his brother, who looks at the three-pointer, gets a pick from Makai. A little pick and roll there. And Makai's short on the 10-foot shot there. Oh, that's got to be offensive, yes.
Great job there by Aiden to get set as Gavin Sokup is going to be whistled for the offensive foul.
That was a great defense.
And he's going to feel that one in the morning, but it's a good job of getting set and taking the charge.
Yeah, he was definitely there. He was waiting.
We have Caton, Osman, and
that's 2 fouls on
Gavin Sokup picks up his second here early on.
So he's going to have to go sit down. It's a bonus for the Wildcats. It looks like Alburnett's extending that a little more here to 3/4, but the Wildcats are able to break that press. We've got Aiden spotting up and nearly stolen, but he's able to maintain it. Swings it over to Makai Benton, who hits a cutting Braden Rickles down low, and Braden turns and knocks it in.
What a finish inside by Rickles. As Osman brings it across half court for the Pirates, over to Neighbor, right wing. That is Mason Neighbor. Adam also in the game. Back to Mason Neighbor, right wing. Osman sets a screen. He'll use it. Pull-up three-pointer for Mason Neighbor on the way is too strong, no good. Rebounded by Matthew Klosterman.
Yep. Matt Klosterman here. They're just walking the ball up. There's 35 seconds left in the first quarter, probably looking potentially for one shot.
It's where you got to take care of the basketball and get a good one. Don't let Alburnett get another shot.
And Matt dumps it off to his brother. Aiden's going to drive, goes past the free throw line, turns around, kicks it back out to Braden Rickles, and Carlson calls a timeout here. 12-8, first quarter, 21 seconds left.
I like that timeout by Coach Carlson with his young group, making sure they don't do anything they don't want to do here before the first quarter buzzer. He can also drop a nice play for them to run. Probably about, with 21 seconds on the clock, probably waits about 10 seconds left and then get a play going.
Yeah, exactly. We'll give a shout out here real quick to, well, no we won't, to Harlan Bank, our sponsor that we appreciate their sponsorship for allowing us to do this. So
Pirates going with both Neighbors, Adam and Mason, as well as Caton, Yamelkoski, and Osman as the Wildcats come back out.
They're kind of going short except for 33. They've shortened up their lineup.
Yeah, they have. We got 3 true guards, and Osman's kind of a combo.
Yeah, so we'll see what the Wildcats. Braden Rickles is going to pass it into Matt in the back court. And we're down to 15 seconds left. Matt gets it into the front court. And Makai Benton's going to come out with the pick, and as well as Marcus Shellhorn. He runs off of that, gets it to his brother, back to Matt, and Matt gets a nice look on a three-pointer, but just isn't able to get that shot to fall.
Adam Neighbor puts a half-court heave up at the buzzer. It's no good, and that brings us to the end of a quarter of play. Through one quarter of basketball, our score, Central City 12, Alburnett 8.
We'll take that. That's got to be kind of a win right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
4-point lead after a quarter against a good Alburnett team. We'll take that every day.
Yeah. So I will give a shout out now to to Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank's everywhere you are with our online and mobile banking apps. You have your accounts at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. Check your balances, pay bills, transfer money, and find Heartland Bank locations with just a touch. Bank on the go at htbtbank.com. Member FDIC. Not going to lie, doesn't roll off your tongue like Next Bank.
No, I did Next Bank for quite a while. You did even longer than I did, so I've caught myself saying Next Bank a couple times for sure.
But it is now Heartland Bank. They are still our sole sponsor for this, and again, we do appreciate them allowing us to do this.
Absolutely.
And but yeah, those just doesn't roll off our tongues yet, so we're working on it. All right, so
it's gonna be Pirate basketball here to start the second quarter. And if you would have told anybody in a Wildcat shirt that they were going to be up 4 after the first quarter, they would have taken that all day. Alburnett's 8-4.
Yeah,
it's a good team, and we're up 4 here entering the second quarter as both teams are back out there. Pirate ball first. Neighbor will throw it in. Osborne will bring it up. Wildcats not applying any pressure, so Osborne will take it in and give it back to Neighbor, who will cross half court without issue. As second quarter is underway, over to Adam Neighbor. Now top of the key to Yamelkoski. Osborne left wing. Top of the key to Mason Neighbor. He's hit 1-3. He'll pass up that one. Goes to the rim. Over to Osborne. Short corner. Attacks baseline. Goes up with it. It's no good. Blocked by Shellhorn. Yamelkoski gets the offensive rebound over to Mason Neighbor. Right corner. Fakes a 3 again. Back to Osman attacking. Picks it up. Adam Neighbor top of the key over to Osborne. Left corner. Gets around a couple defenders. Puts it up. It's no good, but a foul. So Braden Osborne will go to the line to shoot a pair for the Pirates.
Yeah, Braden Rickles got him on the arm. He kind of got underneath that backboard, but he kind of brought himself back in, and Braden did catch him across the arm, so that's going to be Braden's first foul.
And that's a name you'll hear for quite a while. Osborne, just a sophomore. He's a good player at 6'3". He'll attempt 2 free throws here. First one on the way is good. He's got 3, chance to make it 4. It's 12-9. Wildcats with 3-point advantage. 7.5 minutes left in our second quarter. Osborne set to attempt his second free throw. That one on the way is good. He makes both. 4 for him. It's 12-10.
Yep. So Alburnett is kind of a full court man. And Wildcats get it into the front court with Matt. And now they're doing a little bit of a trap there, but Aiden Klosterman gets it to the free throw line, gets it over to Braden. Braden.
Oh. Yamelkoski sent that one into the second row just about.
Braden goes up with the shot, and it goes over into the second row.
He's a 6'5" senior with hops. So that's going to happen sometimes.
So Wildcats maintain possession. Braden's going to pass it into Aiden Klosterman, and he's going to drive, takes it past the free throw line, and then dishes it back out to Makai Ben, and Makai's short.
Adam Neighbor kicks it ahead to Osman. Euro step, goes up with the floater. It's good. As Andrew Osman, he averages 17 points a night. That's his first bucket. And we're all tied up at 12.
Alburnett picking up full court man, and Matt, no problem, gets it into the front court. And they are kind of doing a little double team there. The Wildcats got to find somebody there.
Stolen away by Adam Neighbor, gives it to Mason Neighbor. His shot's no good. Osman gets the rebound. He follows, and it's going to be good. And the Pirates reclaim the lead 14-12. 6-0 run to start the quarter for the Pirates. Wildcats have to turn that around.
Pirates kind of coming up with a little bit of pressure, and the Wildcats are having a problem here handling it. They do break at that time. Makai Ben gets a look from the baseline, but no good.
Adam Neighbor sends it ahead to Osborne in the left corner. Back to Neighbor, now top of the key to Mason Neighbor. Now over to Osman, right wing. Yamelkoski down low. He's triple team, has it taken away, but there is a foul called inside. Shellhorn doesn't like it. And I think if that was Shellhorn, that'll be his third, but didn't look like that was the indication.
No, they called it on Matt Klosterman, and it's his second. So we've got Matt Klosterman and Marcus Shellhorn each with 2 fouls here with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, so not good there.
Yamelkoski has it, just loses it, throws it up to the Midland Eagle flag standing there on the wall, and that'll be a turnover for the Pirates.
And Alburnett's going full court here. Again, it's just full court man-to-man, so they're just going to clear out and let Matt. We'll see if they do that run and jump. Oh, and Matt's going to have it taken away from him. But then he's,
just a scrum on the floor. Looked like football players going after a fumble.
They called that on Alburnett. And so Matt got it taken away, and then nobody could control it. Matt had it, and then number 5.
Braden Osborne's first team foul, number 3.
He came in and fouled Matt. I always have a hard time with fouls on loose ball like that. You know what I mean?
There's just so much going on. It's almost impossible to decide who did what.
Both of them are hustling. Oh, there's a reach.
And that'll go against Adam Neighbor. The 5'8 junior gets his first team foul, number 4.
Yep.
A couple quick fouls for the Pirates.
So now it's 5 team fouls for the Wildcats, 4 for Alburnett. And Matt's got the ball here. Wildcats set up their offense. Matt's going to bring it across into the front court. And he might have just got to, oh, there's no way that's not a foul. 33 just went over there and clobbered him. I'm not sure how you don't call something like that. And then the ball's loose. And was it Matt or Marcus?
A jump ball indication.
Oh, was it a jump ball? Oh, my gosh.
I don't know how we got that out of that.
I don't know. So jump ball, Wildcats basketball here. It's getting a little crazy. They pass it inside to Makai Benton, and he misses. Sticks with it, but isn't able to get it. And here we go the other way.
Now Osborne loses it, and Aiden Klosterman gets a steal.
Yep. And now we're going the other way. Matt Klosterman's coming into the front court. And he's dribbling. He's going to get a pick by Makai and Marcus, and they swing it over there to Aiden. And Aiden's not able to get his three-pointer. Had a good look. Alburnett's coming the other way.
Good box out from Osman. Gets him the rebound. Now he has the top of the key. Spin move inside over to Adam Neighbor. He'll take a left wing three-pointer. That's good. Adam Neighbor with his second bucket. He's got 5. It's 17-12 Alburnett.
So Alburnett's kind of getting things going. It was 12-8. Wildcats haven't scored yet halfway through, almost not quite halfway through the second quarter. So Wildcats are getting it's getting very rough.
Not a pretty basketball game.
No, not right now. So the Wildcats are struggling a little bit with that press, and but we're able to pass the ball around that time, and they got it inside to Braden Rickles, and Braden goes up for the shot, and it is
foul against Mason Neighbor. His first team foul, number 5, as Rickles will shoot 2.
And just shoots an air ball on his first one.
Now Lucas Greif comes over to the scorer's table. He'll check in for the first time tonight, but he will get the shooter, so not quite yet. We also had Jordan Caton, the 5'8 sophomore, re-enter the game for the Pirates. He replaced Adam Neighbor.
And Braden misses the second shot.
Yamelkowski with the board, gives it over to Osborne, and will bring it up the floor for the Pirates. Right wing to Neighbor. Top of the key to Caton. Now back to Neighbor right wing. Down low to Osman. He's double teamed. Neighbor's going to take a corner three-pointer. It's going to be no good.
Rebound Shellhorn. He gives it to Matt. Matt's going to get it into the front court. And there's that pick again. Double pick by Shellhorn. And he drives it in.
Great finish inside by Matthew. As it's 17-14. Pirates have it. Neighbor bringing it up the floor. Right wing to Caton. Now skip pass left wing to Osborne. Top of the key to Neighbor. Standing at the volleyball line. High post to Osman. He drops it. It's up in the air. He gets it back. And now top of the key to Neighbor.
Size
Caton right wing.
Came in there. Wildcats go to a 2-3 zone.
Three-pointer on the way from Caton is good. That's a big three-pointer there from Jordan Caton as he gets his first bucket. 20-14 our score. Stolen away by Yamelkowski as he runs in transition. He goes up and around.
And
Closer,
he misses.
but his shot's no good. Rebounded by Osborne. His putback attempt is good.
Wildcats don't hustle back, so we can't get – we have 2 post players standing out here at half court. Carlson's going straight out and saying, hey, why aren't you guys getting back and playing defense? Just standing there assuming that the shot's going to go, and you have your guards back there, and there's not much they can do. So
in a tight game like this, you can't have a situation where that happens.
Yep, you can't just assume something's going to happen there. All right, so we've got shout out to Next Bank. Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Heartland Bank, member FDIC. Yeah, the Wildcats, we talked about it. 12-8 after that first quarter, and now the second quarter is 14-22. Wildcats scored 2 points. It's been pretty rough, pretty physical. I mean, I'm not going to lie. There could have been some calls, I think. Not necessarily with that, because the Wildcats could have been called maybe a couple times too for some things. But I would say the difference probably is Alburnett's picked the pressure up a little bit, and Wildcats are kind of struggling a little bit with that, with some turnovers here at the top.
And the Klostermans are good guards. Matthews, very good point guard to handle the basketball, but still, we got a freshman and a sophomore.
Yeah.
And no matter what, that's going to be a tough night.
And, you know, even though, and I will say the other thing, that they have broken the press a couple times. We've had some decent looks, but just haven't gotten the shots to drop like we did in the first half. So Wildcats get the ball coming out of that timeout. Matt's going to get it up into the front court here. He's checking things out while Alburnett's man-to-man. There's that double screen with Mackay and Marcus, but nothing's there, and Lucas Greif has checked in, and the ball's loose, and Lucas picks it up and gets called for a travel.
So Pirates will have the ball. They did have Grayson Carolan check in at that timeout, his first appearance in tonight's game for the 6'2 junior. As they give it over to Osborne, left wing, uses a screen from Yamelkowski, pulls up for a mid-range jumper from the free throw line, no good.
Braden Rickles with the rebound, who's checked back in. Lucas just came in for a second, now he's out. And Pirates kind of dropped off a little bit. Matt's going to drive, dishes out to Marcus Shellhorn for the shot, not there.
Rebounded by Yamelkowski. And he'll kick it ahead to Osborne across half court. Picks up his dribble, now gives it to Neighbor, top of the key. Caton, left wing now, guarded by Matthew Klosterman. Trying to attack the hoop. Pretty good defense by Matt as he swings it over to Neighbor. Now high post to Yamelkowski. Shellhorn's got the cover there as he is going to get called for a foul. I think they got Shellhorn on that.
That was a tough call, I thought. Considering what we just saw down there, and then they call that. I mean, maybe it was a foul, but how Yamelkowski wasn't called for a foul on that drive, my gosh.
And so that's his third, and he's going to have to exit the game. Dayton Price, who last night didn't play until the closing minutes when the game was out of hand, he's going to have to play some varsity basketball in competitive minutes here.
Again, he's a sophomore.
Yep, and the inbounds pass goes to Osborne, top of the key, over to Caton, right wing. Definitely a young Central City team as Caton has his pass tipped, but into the hands of Carolan. Top of the key to Adam Neighbor. He'll run the one and set the offense. Swings it right wing to Caton. Now top of the key to Carolan, left wing to Osborne. Now back top of the key to Neighbor. Pirates moving the ball pretty well. Three-pointer on the way from Caton is no good. Rebound fought for.
Good hustle by Dayton Price. And Alburnett saved it, and it went right to the Wildcats. Matt's on the move, and he's going to get called for travel.
Just lost his footing there.
Trying to force a little bit. Try to force it.
Titan Bowers, 6'8 junior, re-enters the game, as well as Mason Neighbor will come back in. And Sokup also goes to the scorer's table last minute, so 3 new for Alburnett. Caton, Osborne, and I think Osman came out of the game for the Pirates.
That's where a freshman you need to kind of know when you can take it in and when you need to maybe come to that jump stop and be ready to dish.
That's a move that would have worked a year ago in junior high. Taking the big step up to the varsity level. Not everything's going to work.
Yeah.
Bowers going to work down low. Now Neighbor, right corner. He'll put up a three-pointer. It's no good.
Braden Rickles gets the rebound again for the Wildcats, and Matt Klosterman gets it up to Aiden there. Aiden's going to take it a little bit at the point, gets it off, and he gets a cut. And now they're cleaning things up here a little bit.
I think the indication appeared
20,
to be,
wasn't it?
Which is, looks like Mason Neighbor, and that'll be his second. Both
Looks
teams have 6.
I was just going to say that both teams will be shooting, but there's only a minute 22 left here in the second quarter.
It's not a whole lot of time to take advantage of that.
So we got Matt gets it in and gets it up to Mackay Benton at the top of the key. He hands it back off to Matt. Matt gets it back to Mackay, who's at just above the free throw line, turns and shoots in and out. No good. Rebounded by the Pirates.
Big man Bowers gets the rebound. Now it's up ahead to Sokup, right corner. Top of the key to Carolan. Left wing to Neighbor. He'll put up a floater off the glass. It's good as Adam Neighbor gets a bucket. He leads the Pirates with 7 points. 24-14 our score.
So we're under a minute to go here in the second quarter. Matt's bringing it up, and looks like the Pirates want to do a little bit of a run and jump here. And Matt sees that, gets it to Aiden. Somebody's got to be open. And they swing it over to Mackay. He swings it back to Matt. Matt drives, comes to a jump stop, throws it up. And he's short, air ball, but Dayton Price is right there for that. I guess we'll call it a pass slash, I don't know.
After the game, that was a pass.
So anyway, Dayton ends up with it, goes up for the shot, and he gets fouled.
That's the third foul on Mason Neighbor
as
well.
Wow, nice. Big So Dayton Price is going to go to the free throw line, and he knocks down his first free throw.
That's a really nice job by the sophomores. We got 4 in, 4 out for the Pirates. Osborne, Caton, Osman, and Yamelkowski will enter.
Well, you got to get rid of some of the. Doesn't 12 has 2 fouls? If you want to try to get him out. A lot of foul
trouble for him.
Get some of those guys on the bench here with 35 seconds to go.
So Carol Ann is the only one that stayed.
And nice shot there by Dayton, so he gets 2 points.
What a job coming in when you're not used to playing in these minutes and just doing what you need to do to get 2 free throws there. Now Osborne has the top of the key over to Osman right wing. Uses a screen from Carol Ann. Picks up his dribble. We're down to 22 seconds. Yamelkowski high post. Poke loose.
I was just going to say, if we can somehow get a stop and maybe get another bucket here, I mean, almost have to count this as a win for our quarter.
Absolutely.
All right, so Matt gets a pick again, and he swings it over Braden Rickles. Braden's going to drive, gets it knocked out of his hand, picks it up, throws it up there, gets his own rebound, gets it to Makai Benton, shoots at the buzzer, hits the rim, but it's no good. That was a heck of a try there.
It was a good try. Benton had a good look, but he couldn't quite get it to go there at the buzzer. So through 2 quarters of basketball here from Central City, our score, Alburnett 24, Central City 16. Unfortunately, Wildcats only able to put up 4 points in that second quarter, which has allowed Alburnett to pull away to this lead, but still very much a game, which is what you love to see from a young team like this.
Only score 4 points in the second quarter, and you're down by 8.
Yeah, that's a win when you can consider what you did in the first quarter and then defensively.
Yeah.
To only be down 8 points.
Yeah, I mean, it was an ugly second quarter. It's been a pretty rugged game, but if we could have got a bucket there, like I said, I mean, 6 points or maybe even 7 points in the quarter, even that's, you don't want that. But, geez, we go down maybe only 6 points going into halftime. Like you said, who would have imagined 12-8 after the first quarter? So, Carlson's, I mean, to be honest, we've had a lot of turnovers probably. I don't know. I guess Alburnett's probably had some too. A lot of shots. We've missed a lot of shots. I don't know. I mean, as a we're getting some official critique here from alum Keegan Kula, who
he's the guy that has the right to make
has turned into an official. He's telling us that those officials aren't doing a good job, and I don't think he's going to get an argument from us.
I heard he was doing the varsity game when Edco came to town. Is that
that right?
He
did.
That's
he did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I think he filled in for somebody or something.
So here at the half, we'll take a quick look at the Alburnett scoring numbers. No one player has overwhelmed the Wildcats. It's just been a well-rounded attack. Adam Neighbor led the way. He has 7. Braden Osborne had 6 in that first half. Then Jordan Caton and Mason Neighbor had 3. And Titan Bowers made one of his 2 free throws. He has 1. I think I missed Andrew Osman there also. He has 4 to round out the Pirates' scoring attack in that first half.
And for the Wildcats, Makai Benton and Aiden Klosterman each have 5. They've each had a 3-pointer, and they've each had a 2-point basket. And then Matt Klosterman had a field goal. Braden Rickles has had a field goal. And Dayton Price came in and gave us he's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. So those are the 16 points. And as far as foul trouble, Wildcats do have Marcus Shellhorn has 3 fouls and had to go out there that tail end of that second quarter. And Matt Klosterman has 2. So, I mean, not terrible, but definitely. And then just Braden Rickles has 1, and that's it. So
just a little bit of foul trouble for the Pirates, as well as Mason Neighbor picked up his 3rd there late in that first half. Then Gavin Sokup has 2. Adam Neighbor and Braden Osborne both have 1 for the Pirates. So other than Mason Neighbor, not a whole lot of foul trouble. Despite the high foul count, I'd say it could have been a lot higher with some of the aggressive play going on in there.
And like I said, we had 3 guys, two on Matt and 3 on Marcus, and there's probably were a couple other guys who could have picked up a couple fouls there. But, yeah, it was crazy. It was pretty physical considering we were just talking about. Actually, I thought that the girls' game actually was called pretty decently, and it was a pretty clean game. And so anyway, totally different here.
Yeah, 2 completely different games.
Yeah.
There weren't many fouls called in that girls' game, and rightfully so, because there just weren't being committed. And in this boys' game, there's been quite a few, and then also quite a few that were left out there.
Yeah.
That probably should have been called.
Yeah, for sure. So, but like we said, you know, as far as like the Wildcats, you know, just to go in, you know, if we were, like you said, with 4 points in the second quarter and go in 16-24, you know, Carlson's got to feel good and be able to talk to the players about some things that we can do better, you know. And I'm sure Alburnett's like, oh, we played terrible, but it is what it is. So hopefully the Wildcats can come out, and that was the one thing, is they were able to hit a couple 3-pointers in the first quarter, and in the second quarter, I know Mackay had one or two, and then Matt had one early, I think maybe, and we just couldn't get anything to drop from the outside in that second quarter. So that hurt the Wildcats a little bit. So we'll see what they can do here. We got a half-court shooting contest.
There's quite the line going on. That's the place to be right now.
I would have to check with Cody, and I doubt if he's listening, but we went up to Starmont one year, and when him and I were coaching and they were doing the half-court shooting contest thing, there was a kid, I think, if I remember right, he made 7 in a row.
7 half-court shots
I'm pretty sure it was something like that. It was amazing. I'll have to ask Ratliff tomorrow. I'll have to text you and tell you what it was. But I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was funny. So yeah, nobody's made a half-court shot yet, have they?
One of the younger kids got to step up a little bit, made like a 3-pointer, but I don't think anybody's made a half-court shot. One rimmed out.
Oh, they're coming up to the. Yeah, there was one who had somebody who rimmed in and out. I think this is a fundraiser for prom, maybe. It's a junior fundraiser. Well, I see Kaya Ingen out there, and she's a senior, so I'm not sure what this is for, to be honest. Do you know?
No, I'm not entirely sure, because I was thinking maybe dance team, but then I saw Bailey down there, and she's not on the dance team.
Oh, yeah, she's not on the dance team, so
yeah,
I'm not
totally
sure who the fundraiser's for. We'll have to check into that.
Taking a quick look at a couple other games going around in the Tri-Rivers Conference tonight. Northland is hosting Starmont, while East Buchanan hosts Maquoketa Valley. I'd say Northland probably going to have their way with Starmont.
Yeah.
But East Buck Mac Valley, that could be a pretty good game. I'd say Mac Valley probably the favorite, but that's one that could go either way.
Well, the Mac Valley boys aren't as strong as they normally are.
They've dropped off a little bit, but they still are a pretty solid team.
And our guys actually played pretty decent against them up there, if I remember right, hearing that. But anyway.
And here's another one. We have a score update. Springville is up 5 against Edco at the half, 31-26.
Wow.
So that's a big one.
I wonder if Edco's got some kids out or something.
I know they played them close the first time.
Yeah, they did. I actually, I remember that.
So that's big for the conference.
I think
standings.
Edco got up big on Springville, and then Springville came back, and
that's what happened with Alburnett as well. They were up 20 or so.
Alburnett
came all the way. No,
Edco
got up, and Alburnett came all the way to win that one.
Yeah, well, and that was kind of the first game with Springville, but Springville wasn't able to finish it. So, all right, well, half-court shooting is done, and we've got about 2.5 minutes to go here. Both teams are coming back out on the floor. Wildcats getting some shots up.
Central City needs to come out ready to go here to start this second half. As saw Aiden knock down a 3 there. Saw Matthew just knock down another. So we'll need some of that in this second half.
Yep.
As you mentioned, we were making threes early on, got up, got that lead going into the second quarter, and then we kind of went cold from outside, and Alburnett was able to catch back up.
Yeah. Well, you know, if we can hit those outside shots, Matt does a good job of getting the ball into the lane, and it's going to be tough for him to score in the lane because of the size that Alburnett has. But if he can get it inside and draw the defenders down on him a little bit and just open up a little gap, and then if, you know, that'll give Aiden and maybe Mackay, you know, that if they can then have a good look and knock down some things, that'll kind of then maybe open up middle a little bit for Matt, you know, kind of have that inside-outside game we were talking about the girls are doing. So
and maybe put a little pressure, less pressure on Mackay as well.
Right. And then he can find something. It just, you know, that when you penetrate like that and with Matt's size going up against the size that Alburnett has, it's good to be able to penetrate and then dish, and it kind of squeezes in those people, and then hopefully you can knock down some of those threes. So we'll see if maybe the Wildcats, like you just said, hopefully they're knocking down some of them and they can get some of them to fall in the third quarter. And then just boost your confidence a little bit too,
So about a minute to go before the second half.
I'm assuming the Wildcats will come out with the same starters.
In all likelihood, as they really went 5 deep.
Yep.
Well, except for Dayton coming in there a little bit. That was foul trouble, and Lucas came in for
Lucas was in for like
a quick breather.
Like just not even 30 seconds probably. And then Dayton, though, held his own in there.
He did a good job. I was impressed by him. I didn't see him play until last night. That was my first time seeing him play.
And he helped out, boxed out down here, kept the ball alive, and then, like we said, he got that offensive rebounder / alley-oop pass that and whatever you want to call it, and drew a key foul on the Alburnett player there.
Yeah,
and then he knocked down his free throws.
That was a huge sequence there for the sophomore. As that was
because it was what's-his-face's third foul, wasn't it?
Neighbor got his third foul in there. Mason Neighbor, the 6'1 junior.
Right, so.
And he plays the 1 in that starting unit a lot, so that's pretty key when you have to be careful with your point guard there.
Well, and especially when they're pulling, when they're kind of coming up and doing some pressing and stuff like that. Sometimes some teams have a tendency to reach or to things, and if that's the way they're going to defend, maybe he gets another cheap foul and he has to go sit down for an extended period of time. So.
Pirates are going to start the second half with Osborne, Sokup, Osman, Yamelkowski, and Mason Neighbor. Same 5 started the game. And the same is true for the Wildcats, as they have the Klostermans with Benton, Shellhorn, and Rickles. Pirates ball first. They're working left to right. Wildcats will work right to left in the second half. Sokup throws it in to Neighbor, and we're underway for the third quarter of play. High post to Osman, nice back cut as the Gavin Sokup gets a wide open layup to put himself in the scoring column, 26-16. Just into the second half.
Not the way you want to start the second half, but let's see if the Wildcats can't come back and respond, but they don't. They have a turnover by Braden Rickles.
Stolen by Osborne, as it will go right back to the Wildcats, but no, it will not. The first official was overruled by the second one, so it will go with Alburnett. As Osborne will throw it in from in front of the scorer's table. That pass goes into Neighbor. Klosterman applies some pressure, now backs off a little bit. Over to Osborne, left wing, guarded by Rickles. Uses a screen from Yamelkowski. Top of the key to Sokup. Right wing to Neighbor. Attacking the hoop, jump stop, puts up a floater. It's no good off back iron.
Shellhorn with the rebound. Wildcats coming the other way. They give it to Matt Klosterman. He's going to bring it into the front court, and they're coming up with that double screen play again that they've been using. And they're going to call, it looks like Alburnett. All 3 of the guys, Matt's guy, and then I think Marcus Shellhorn and Mackay's all converged on Matt, and they called a foul on.
Gave it to Andrew Osman.
Okay.
His first is all. Team foul number 1.
So they get the ball into Marcus. Don't pass it. There we go. They get it into Aiden. Aiden gets it to the brother at the top of the key. Matt drives. Nice bounce pass down to Marcus. And Marcus isn't able to handle it, so it's going to go out of bounds. So the Wildcats' first 2 possessions aren't necessarily what we wanted coming out of halftime with 2 turnovers.
I think Shellhorn was thinking about trying to go up over the 6'5 Yamelkowski and didn't catch first.
Yes.
Results in the turnover, as now Neighbor has the top of the key. Down low to Osman, working on Benton inside. Top of the key to Yamelkowski. Back to Neighbor, thinks about a 3. Now down low to Osman once again. Takes one hard dribble. Now gives it out to Osborne. Top of the key to Neighbor. He'll pull up for a 3-pointer. That one on the way is going to be no good.
And, Marcus went up and had it, lost it, and now he's going to get called for the foul.
Second chance points for the Pirates as the bucket didn't go in, but he'll go to the line, and I think Shellhorn just got his 4th. As Price heads over to the scorer's table, Mason Neighbor will shoot 2 for the Pirates.
Yep. And he had it. He just went up, and the ball on the rebound, it's Marcus's 4th. Ball went right through his hands, and it went right to the Alburnett player, and Alburnett player took it to the hole, and Marcus went up for the block or the reach, I don't know which.
As Neighbor misses the first, and Price is in the game now. He misses the second, so misses both.
Dayton. Well, Dayton's got a good shot, but unfortunately he got the rebound, and he scored for Alburnett.
Price put it in for the Pirates. Now, how do you count that points-wise? Because you can't
Well,
give
you
him
give it to him, but It's just like an extra basket. I don't know what they do with that. But he gets the points, I believe. Well, you know, yeah, so Wildcats get it into the front court. Braden falls down, but he gets it to Price. Price sets a pick, gets it to Aiden Klosterman. Aiden gets it, Aiden shoots an air ball, and Dayton tries to keep it alive, but Alburnett gets it.
Neighbor shot on the other end, no good. Now the ball's on the floor. There's a scrum for it. It's loose now, and we're going to have almost had a jump ball, but the back official declared a foul. And
that guy has been the one who's like making all these calls, and they're not even his call. So what did he call?
Ultimately, I think they let the jump ball call stand, so I think it's just a jump ball.
Oh, okay, because I was like, all right. So Wildcats get it out of all that, after all that. So Matt's got it in the backcourt, gets it up into the front court, checks things out behind the back. Aiden's got it, gets it to Mackay at the free throw line. Mackay looks, drives, and throws up a shot. No good, nothing's called. Alburnett's coming the other way.
Neighbor kicks it ahead to Osborne, has to reach out to grab it, but he does so. Osman top of the key, gets past Benton. Pull-up jumper on the way is good. Takes a friendly roll into the hoop as Osman gets his bucket to go.
And Matt's going to come the other way here. Pirates doing the run and jump. And they get it into the front court. Rickles at the top of the key, gets it to Aiden Klosterman. Oh, swings it over to Matt, who's at the very top of the key, and gets things set up. Swings it over to the right side to Rickles, who drives in, and they are going to call foul on the Pirates there.
Nice take by Rickles, draws the foul, but looks like it's on the floor. Adam Neighbor will re-enter the game as Braden Osborne is whistled for his second foul, team foul number 2.
So Rickles is going to pass it in and gets it into Aiden, who swings it up to the top of the key to Mackay, who's going to throw up a three-pointer, and he's going to get it to go. So that's what we were talking a little about. Maybe we can get some shots to drop here.
Needed that one as now the Pirates have it. Adam Neighbor top of the key, high post to Yamilkowski. Turns, gives it over to Osborne. Nice take to the hoop by Braden Osborne, and he goes up and puts it through. That's 8 points for Osborne, 32-19 our score, 4:50 to go in the third.
So Aiden's got it, and he bounce passes it up into the front court, and it's going to be a turnover.
Stolen by Sokup. Now over to Yamilkowski, down low to Neighbor. His layup's no good. Tipped around. Now it's on the floor. They're diving for it. Ends up with Yamilkowski. He goes back up. His putback's no good.
Come on, get him off.
Sokup gets the offensive rebound. Now we got a foul.
I think it's going to be on Aiden. Wow, they're not calling anything.
I think they actually indicated Rickles there.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay. Oh,
that'll be his
you're
second.
Right. I thought they were pointing to Aiden, so it is going to be a foul on Braden Rickles with the reach. And the ball's just getting tapped around. It's on the floor. And finally, Pirates get it.
Did have Jordan Caton and Titan Bowers re-enter the game for the Pirates.
Oh,
that pass is tipped, but Caton ends up with it. Over to Bowers. Now into the corner to Osman. Nice drive to the rim by Osman. His layup's no good, but he is fouled. So Andrew Osman will go to the line to shoot 2 for Alburnett.
And I think that's going to be Mackay Ben's first foul of the night.
It's good that he's been able to stay out of foul trouble, with Shellhorn having to leave with 4.
Yep, so that's Mackay's first. Third team foul for the Wildcats, and the Pirates are going to go to the line on that one.
Osman's first free throw's up, no good. Pretty good looking shot, but couldn't get it to fall through. He'll have a chance for one more. 32-19 our score. We've got 4:23 to go in the third quarter. As Osman will get to set to attempt his second free throw. That one on the way is good. He's got 7 after making 1 of 2. And the Wildcats have it back.
So Pirates are kind of extending their pressure a little bit. Matt's got it, gets it over to his brother. He gets it in to the front court, and Braden Rickles can't handle the pass. And
Osborne in transition, can't get it to go. Nice board there by Aiden Klosterman.
Aiden, and now Aiden on the rebound had about 3 guys hanging on him, and he dribbles out, and then they touch him, and they call foul.
They're going to get that one on Adam Neighbor, his second team foul, number 3. 33-19 our score.
And that is going to be Wildcats. All right, so Wildcats bring it into the front court. Aiden's going to take it down. Nice bounce pass to Dayton. And based on everything that we've seen tonight, they call that a foul, and we had a chance for a layup. So they call that on number 3.
Jordan Caton, his first.
And
stoppage because I don't think the scorer's table got the call.
Yeah, so that's
now
his
they
first.
do.
Both teams have 4 team fouls. Wildcats are going to pass it in. Braden Rickles gets it over to Aiden, swings it up the top of the key to Matt. He's checking things out. He dribbles, gets it over to Braden Rickles. Braden drives in the middle of the floor, kind of comes in, swoops, throws it up there, no good. Dayton Price trying to keep it alive. Good hustle by Dayton, kept it alive, goes right to Matt Klosterman. Sets a pick, and Matt's going to take it in and off the glass with his left hand, which he's left-handed. So
goes up over the 6'8" Bowers.
Yeah, nice hustle there by a freshman and a sophomore. So
top of the key to Osborne. Now right wing to Osman. Neighbor top of the key now. He'll bring it back out, look to set a play here for the Pirates. Osborne right wing. Screen set by Osman. He goes the other way, and probably a good idea as the defender had gone with the screen.
You know, that's not a bad foul. That was a great crossover.
That was a nice move.
Yeah, he left. Braden Rickles didn't know what was going on there. That was a nice move. So Dayton really couldn't do much. Just kind of took it. So Pirates are at the line.
Braden Osborne will shoot 2. That one on the way is no good. Misses the front end. Looks like we've got Anthony Yamelkowski re-entering the game for the Pirates, replacing Osman. Also, Max Arthur make his first appearance, replacing Braden Rickles. Osborne has one more after missing the front end. His second free throw on the way is good. He makes 1 of 2, give him 9 on the night. He will now exit the game as Soka was at the scorer's table to get the shooter. And it'll be Wildcat basketball, 34-21 our score.
So Alburnett goes back to that full court kind of man-to-man run and jump press, and Matt's got it. He gets it to his brother. His brother hits a cutting Max Arthur, but Max was covered really, so it's a turnover on Aiden.
Bowers goes up with it. His shot's no good.
I think it was blocked from behind by Dayton, and Makai Benton comes down with the rebound. Wildcats are running the other way. Matt's got it at the free throw line, pulls up and knocks down a floater there just inside the free throw line.
Neighbor has it left wing. Now down low to Bowers. Back to Neighbor. He fakes the 3 from the left corner. Back to Bowers inside. Yamelkowski top of the key. Soak up right corner. Now bring it up top of the key. He gives it over to Neighbor, and he'll call for a play. Adam Neighbor running the one off the bench for the Pirates. Caton has it right wing. Top of the key to Yamelkowski. Fakes a pass there. Now back to Neighbor right wing. Inside to Bowers. Back to Neighbor. He'll take a 3-pointer from the right wing. Right corner rather, and it's good. As Adam Neighbor gets into double figures with 10. 37-23 our score.
So Max gets it into Matt, and they break that press, and that is nice.
Dayton Price gets the fast break bucket there.
Max to Dayton, and Dayton knocks down, and he's got 4 points off the bench for the Wildcats.
Bowers has it down low, takes one hard dribble, goes up with it. It's going to be no good. Bounces out, but he is fouled.
I have a feeling they're going to call Max Arthur there for the.
That is the case. Yep. Max is first. Titan Bowers, 6'8" junior, will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Pirates. 1:50 to go in our third quarter. It's 37-25. First one on the way from Bowers. That one's no good off front of the rim. As Mason Nabel re-enter for the Pirates. Braden Rickles for the Wildcats.
He's
Price exits.
Yeah, Dayton Price. Dayton Price gave him some good minutes.
Yeah, he did.
You know, except for that, basket. But that was, unfortunate.
Second free throw from Bowers is good. He makes 1 of 2, and he will be replaced by Osman. As soon as Price sat down, Marcus Shellhorn said something to him. I guarantee you that's what he said. Yeah,
but he gave him good minutes, so we'll see what happens here. He'll probably come back in. So Wildcats are coming the other way. Aiden's going to just break that press. He kicks it over to Mackay, who's on the baseline, shoots an air ball, goes straight to the Pirates.
Neighbor has it in the front court now on the left wing, top of the key to Caton. He'll take a 3-pointer. That one on the way is no good. Good look, couldn't get the fall, however.
Good rebound by Braden Rickles, gets to Max Arthur, and Max Arthur just a lazy pass. Should have just kept the ball himself. Tried to get it to Matt Klosterman, and it was stolen, and then Matt just fouled. That's going to be Matt's third foul.
And that was a freshman pass right there.
Yep,
one was just inexperience.
Like you said, last year, that probably worked in middle school.
So the inbounds pass goes to Soak up top of the key.
And there's going to be a quick foul. And then now, unfortunately, with 1:28 left in the third quarter, that's the 7th team foul. So Alburnett is going to be going to the free throw line, which isn't necessarily a good thing for the rest of the game.
Gavin Sokup was fouled, so he will shoot a 1-and-1 here with a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Free throw on the way from Sokup is good. He makes the front end. He'll get the back end. He's got 3 points in the night. 39-25 our score. As Sokup gets set to attempt his second free throw. That one on the way is good. He makes both. Give him 4 on the night. 40-25 our score.
So we got Matt Klosterman into the front court being double teamed. He gets it over to Aiden. Aiden's going to penetrate. Nice dish to Mackay.
And that's what I like to see, the ball movement is Aiden.
And that's what I think, if they're going to do that, and if you can get it to Aiden or the other wing player, they've got to penetrate in and not worry about passing it around.
The foul went against Jordan Caton, his second team foul number 5, as Benton will shoot 2.
First one's good.
And I like that. Aiden penetrating the defense there, and that opens up the passing lane for Benton to get a good look inside.
Because you got 2 to 3 guys out on the top of the key. There's a nice looking shot right there by Mackay. So
good trip to the foul line from the sophomore, as that's 40-27 our score after those 2 free throws. Neighbor has it in the front court for the Pirates. That's Mason Neighbor over to Caton, right wing, guarded by Matthew Klosterman. Top of the key to Sokup, left wing to Osman. Osman gives it over to Neighbor, right wing. Inside to Osman, takes a hard dribble, goes around Benton, puts it up high, no good.
There, Braden Rickles with the rebound again for the Wildcats. Coming the other way, just straight up man-to-man. This time, Matt's going to penetrate. There's nobody down there to stop him, and he's going to take it all the way.
How about that finish inside from the freshman?
No size down in there, or they just didn't get back. He beat him, and there we go.
Yamelkoski has a high post. He hands it off to Caton, trying to go downhill. Poke loose by Klosterman, but Caton gets it back. Right corner.
We got 30 seconds left here. Hopefully we can have some good D.
Left wing, Caton. Use the screen from Osman. Pull up mid-range jumper from the free throw line is no good from Caton. Wildcats will get a chance at one shot here with 20 seconds to go.
Yep, Matt Klosterman with the rebound, brings it into the front court, straight up man-to-man. He looks, he penetrates, kicks it back to his brother, who swings it over to Mackay. And he misses, gets his own rebound, and he's able to, foul!
Mackay Benton gets the basket to go and the foul, so he misses the three-pointer, but will get a chance to get 3 points the old-fashioned way inside, as he will go to the free throw line for 1. Great sequence there, and that's, you always hear people at basketball games yelling, follow your shot.
Yes.
That's why, and that was also Mason Neighbor's 4th, and
he's
team foul number
down.
6.
Yeah.
Free throw on the way is good. Benton makes the extra point there. It's a 9-point game, or 8-point game, 40-32, so they're sticking around.
They are. All right, so we've got 6 seconds here to go.
Osborne will bring it up. 4 seconds. Goes behind his back. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Goes up, but it's no good, but he's fouled.
Call that
with 0.2 seconds on the clock. He'll go to the line.
No, not on Aiden, because he's a single digit, I believe.
Might have been Max. No, it's going to be Braden.
Braden picks up his 3rd foul.
Team foul number 8. As Osborne will go to the line to shoot 2.
0.2 of a second.
So this will essentially end the quarter. First free throw from Osborne's no good. He's missed a few of them today, has Osborne. Missed free throws have really kept the Wildcats in the game a lot of this ball game here tonight. As Osborne will get set to attempt his 2nd. That one is on the way. It's good. He makes 1 of 2 to go into double digits with 10. And that will bring us to the end of 3 quarters of play. Our score, Alburnett 41, Central City 32.
All right, we'll do a quick shout out here to Next Bank, and then we can go from there. From your first checking account to your first car, first mortgage to retirement, and all the money matters in between. Heartland Bank, people relate because they're your people. They are in your community, sitting beside you at the kids' games, working local fundraisers, and shooting the breeze at the grocery store. Start building the banking relationship of a lifetime with Heartland Bank, member FDIC. All right, well, that was exciting.
You know, going into the 4th quarter down 9, we'll certainly take it against this tough Alburnett team. All around, the guys have had a pretty good game tonight, despite some foul trouble.
Doubled their output there from the first half, so we had scored 16 points in that quarter. Like you said, 8-point game.
And after having only 4 points,
or 9-point game, I guess.
In that 2nd quarter, they put up 16 in the 3rd quarter. That's a huge bounce back after going with just 4 points in that 2nd quarter.
Yeah. Yep.
So both teams back out there. Wildcats will get it first. Pirates going with Osborne, Sokup, Neighbor, Osman, and Yamulkoski. It'll be the starting 5 for the Wildcats. Shellhorn in there playing with 4 fouls.
So Matt's going to come into the front court here, and it's a straight-up man-to-man. He gets it to Rickles, swings it over to Aiden, and then gets it to Marcus, who drives, kicks it to Matt. Matt's going to take it to the hole and stops and pops and gets the shot to drop.
7-point game, 41-34 as Neighbor brings it into the front court for the Pirates. Now top of the key to Osman, right wing to Sokup, down low to Osborne. He'll take a couple dribbles, picks it up, goes up, fadeaway jumper is no good.
And rebound Shellhorn. Matt Klosterman's got 8 points here in the second half. See what he's going to do, and he feels it, misses, but Mackay Benton with the rebound, and that's Mackay's 10th point here in the second half.
5-point game with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Sokup uses a screen. Now top of the key to Osborne, left wing Neighbor. Yamulkoski sets the screen, he doesn't use it. Now back to Yamulkoski in the high post. He goes around Shellhorn and puts it up and in for his first bucket of the night as Anthony Yamulkoski gets the basket to go.
So it looks like Alburnett's coming kind of just straight up man. Wildcats have Braden Rickles checking things out. He's going to cross over, take it, dishes to Mackay. Mackay's going to penetrate, and he pulls up, and he misses and gets his own rebound, and he puts it back.
And what I like from Mackay there is how, as we got a timeout on the floor, he knows he's going to get called for a charge if he goes straight into the defender. He goes up and over. Couldn't get it to go, but he does hustle and get his own rebound.
Well, he saw the guy standing there, so instead of just charging in, he just stopped and tried to do a little pop over the front of the rim. And the second time, that's the second time Mackay has followed his shot. He missed, and he went right to the ball, tracked it down, and put it in. And we talked about right before halftime, he did the same thing. Shot that three-pointer, missed it, and followed his shot, and was able to convert. So that's why coaches say, follow your shot, follow your shot.
If anyone's ever been to a basketball game, they've heard that yelled by somebody in the crowd.
Coaches, most coaches are going to say that at least once during the game.
And there's a reason for it.
Yep.
As 6.5 minutes to play in the game, it's 43-38. The Wildcats have closed the gap to 5 against the 8-4 Alburnett Pirates.
So the Wildcats have 8 team fouls. Alburnett's got 6, so both are shooting bonus. Hopefully we can hold our fouls back so that we don't put Alburnett in double bonus yet, but we do have Matt Klosterman with 3 personal fouls. Braden Rickles has got 3, and Marcus has got 4.
For the Pirates, Mason Neighbor has 4, and nobody else has more than 2.
Okay, so we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that.
Alburnett has the basketball. Adam Neighbor crossing into the front court. Soak up top of the key. Now over to Osman, left wing, attacking baseline. Back to Yamulkoski down low, and that's stolen away by the Wildcats.
Yep, they're going to call that.
Ooh,
he kind of got away with that in the first half, and their coach, I saw their coaches all saying push off, push off, push off, and they caught him that time. So that's Matt's 4th foul, so he's really going to have to be smart about his reaching and stuff like that, because that'll really hurt if he goes out.
Osborne right wing, top of the key to Sokup. Now into the corner to Osman. He'll look to attack, picks up his dribble in the high post, takes the mid-range jumper. It's good. Andrew Osman gets the basket to go, 45-38 with just under 6 minutes to play.
You know, those are some little bad habits that, you know, hopefully Matt can work on, because he definitely is pushing off a little bit. There's Mackay, has the ball stripped. He was at the
picks
elbow.
It up, and it's stolen away by Aiden.
Oh, and Aiden. Oh, Aiden.
He heard the footsteps of Osman come behind him.
Yep, and tried to get rid of it. He missed it, but then good hustle on Mackay to keep the ball alive. And he tipped it, but Aiden was still out of bounds.
Now the Pirates have it back. Osborne right wing, guarded by Rickles. Top of the key to Sokup. He swings it over to Osman left wing. Now top of the key to Osborne once again. Back to Neighbor right wing. Pirates in no hurry here. Yamulkoski hands it off to Sokup. Nice take to the rim. His left-hand layup is good, and he is fouled.
Now, they're going to call, if they call that on Aiden, Aiden literally stopped to let him score, and they call the foul versus some of the other stuff that we've seen earlier in the game. That's mind-blowing right there. All right, so that's Aiden's second foul.
Team is now in the double
did
bonus.
They count that?
They did count the basket as the free throw's no good.
Ball doesn't lie, David. All right, we got Matt bringing it into the front court. Wildcats kind of spreading it out. There's Mackay at the elbow. He spins, fakes the handoff, and he's going to take it all the way, and they don't call anything there, which that looked like a pretty clean block.
Tried to kind of double pump to avoid the block and ended up being a bit short on the shot.
Yep.
Now three-pointer from the left corner is going to be no good for Adam Neighbor.
There's Braden Rickles. And Braden Rickles.
Osborne gets it to go after the turnover.
Braden Rickles with the turnover, but there's that case where Braden Rickles can take a couple dribbles. You know, I know you want to get the ball to Matt or Aiden maybe, but, you know, clear out of there. You know, get out from underneath the basket, clear out, let the defense get back, then make your pass over to your point guard or bring the ball up, for God's sakes. You know, I've seen Braden dribble, so that's unfortunate. So that turnover leads to 2 points there for the Pirates. And we're at 38-49 with 4:39 to go here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats down by 11.
As I think the Pirates are in a 6-0 run here after we had cut it to 5.
Yeah. Pirates are in the double bonus for the rest of the game, and the Wildcats will be in the 1-on-1 bonus here on Alburnett's next fouls. So going to have some free throws going here. The Wildcats need to take care of the basketball, and I try to get something out of every trip if they can. So Matt's in the front court, gets that double pick again. It looks like some bowling balls out there. Matt's going to take it all the way, and he finishes.
Nice finish inside by the freshman.
Yep.
49-40, 4:20 to go in the game. Neighbor has it for the Pirates, top of the key. Guarded by Matthew Klosterman, now right wing to Osborne. Top of the key to Adam Neighbor. Over to Osman on the left wing. Benton playing the defense there. Swings it over to Neighbor right wing. Looking for somewhere to go. Yamokoski high post. Takes one hard dribble, gives it to Neighbor cutting. He goes up with his left hand, and it's good. Adam Neighbor has 12 on the night.
Wildcats coming right back here. Matt's got the ball. He does a crossover, takes it to the middle of the lane, and I was going to say, if they're going to call that on Aiden, they better call that. He stopped, crossed over, pulled up in the middle of the lane, and rather take it to the hoop that time.
I think they got Mason Neighbor, and that's going to be the game for him.
I think
that's
you're
his
right.
fifth.
Yep.
Team foul number 7. Mason Neighbor fouls out.
Is he their leading scorer?
No, not coming into the game. He was one of the top scorers, though. Only 3 tonight.
Yeah. So Matt's going to go to the free throw line. And he'll have a 1-and-1 here. Or I guess maybe, do they call it 2? Oh, ball rattled in, out, and back in. We'll take that. So there's 10-point game here. 3:51 to go, 41-51. Little strong, but Marcus Shellhorn almost gets the offensive rebound, but
Adam Neighbor gives it across half court to Osborne. Now back to Adam Neighbor standing at the midcourt logo. Over to Sokup right wing. Top of the key to Yamokoski. Back to Neighbor on the right wing, guarded by Matthew Klosterman. Dribbling left, top of the key to Sokup. He'll spot up for a three-pointer. That's going to be no good and rebounded by the Wildcats.
Yep. Mackay Benton gets it to Matt Klosterman. Matt's going to push it. He spins, kicks it out to Marcus Shellhorn's three-point attempt is blocked. He gets his own rebound, and Matt gets the ball. And they tried to get a charge on him, but no good. Mackay Benton penetrates and kicks it out to Aiden Klosterman. Has a good look for a three, but just couldn't get it to fall.
Yamokoski pulls down the board over to Osborne on the right wing. Now over to Adam Neighbor. 3 minutes to play. Wildcats trail by 10. High post to Osman, looking for a back cut, but it wasn't there. Now he'll take one hard dribble. Butt pick handoff goes to Sokup. His layup at the rim is good as Gavin Sokup gets it to go. And we got a whistle here, but not totally sure why we had a whistle.
Inadvertent whistle. Touchdown's good. All right, here we go. I'm not sure what happened there, but Matt Klosterman brings it into the front court, and he gets it down on the baseline down the right-hand side to Braden Rickles, brings it back up to Matt. He's going to get a pick from Mackay. He's going to go around, and he's going to pull up for a little jump shot. No good, and rebounded by the Pirates.
Down low to Osman. He'll go for the fast break layup, and it takes a friendly roll. Almost rolled all the way out, but it does get it to go. 55-41 our score.
All right, and Wildcats coming back in here. There's Matt. He's trying to make something happen here. He does a spin, gets it out to Braden. Braden picks it up, shoots, and airballs it. And we're going the other way for a quick.
Sokup running in transition gets another bucket.
Yep, just didn't get back on defense there.
It's 10 for Sokup, 57-41 as the Pirates kind of pulling away here the last couple minutes.
They get the ball into Marcus Shellhorn on the baseline on the right-hand side, and they're trying to get some stuff organized here. They get it to Mackay. He's going to drive, spin, and he knocks it down. And what are all these whistles for? What's that whistle for?
I think the referee thought Carlson was calling a timeout, but he was just telling his
You know what?
team
And I
what
wonder what. Oh, but now Alburnett calls a timeout.
The ball was already in play.
Yeah. Well, it's Alburnett's ball.
Yeah, my mistake. But yeah. Still.
Well, I wonder if they thought, because that last whistle, the Alburnett coach was up. I wonder if they thought he was going to maybe call a timeout. But that's why you shouldn't blow your whistle. Wait until you know what's going on. So. We got 1:43 left here. It's 43-57. Wildcats have just, I think, the one thing, we've talked about, they're so young. I think they had it down to, what was it?
It was 5 points here not too long ago.
Yeah. I think when they start thinking about that, then they start, pressing and, trying to make things happen versus just let things happen that got them to that point. And then it's like, oh, my God, we've got down here. And then they start, going a little crazy. We got some fouls down there, and obviously Alburnett's going to be going to the free throw line. So,
So 57-43, a minute 43 to play in the game as the Wildcats are back out there with the same 5 that have played pretty much the entire night. Pirates have Adam Neighbor alongside Yamilkoski, Osborne, Sokup, and Osman, who will throw it in for the Pirates. Official reminds him he does have the baseline to move, and he chooses to do so. Inbounds pass goes to Osborne in the backcourt. He's double-teamed.
Yeah, Wildcats in a full-court press here to try to get something.
Across half court now to Sokup. Over to Yamilkoski, right corner. Back out to Adam Neighbor on the right wing. A minute and a half to play. Top of the key to Osborne behind the volleyball line. Picks up his dribble. Over to Adam Neighbor. Inside to Osman. Now back to Osborne, top of the key, and they'll hand it off to Adam Neighbor looking to reset. Back to Osborne. And now Braden Rickles is going to come in and foul intentionally. And we'll play the free throw game a little bit here.
Yep, that's Braden's 4th foul.
As Braden Osborne will go to the line to shoot a pair for the Pirates as they are in the double bonus. 57-43, a minute 16 to go. Coach Christofferson gets out the
whiteboard
over there for the Pirates. First free throw from Osborne's too short, no good off front of the rim. He'll get a chance at one more. Our score remains 57-43. As Osborne has 12 on the night, he has left some at the free throw line though. Second free throw on the way from Osborne. That one is no good either. And the horn sounded. Man, we've got to have a record tonight for unintentional stoppages of play.
Two inadvertent whistles and a horn.
So Wildcat ball, a minute 13 to play after both free throws were missed.
All right, Wildcats are going to bring the ball. We've got the clock going here. Aiden gets it to Matt. Matt dribbles. He's between his legs. He's going to drive to the right-hand side. He pump fakes, gets it to Aiden. Aiden's going to drive, and they're going to call hand check.
I think they got that on Gavin Sokup, which would be his 3rd. That is the case.
Okay, and then Aiden Klosterman's going to go to the free throw line here for one and bonus. And he misses his first shot. Rebound by Mackay, and Mackay gets that one to drop. Good hustle by Mackay.
Full court press still in effect here from the Wildcats. Osborne looking to break it for the Pirates. Gives it back to Osman in the backcourt. Now crosses into the front court. Picks up his dribble. A lot of pressure being applied by the Klostermans. And looks like we got a timeout called by Coach Christofferson of the Pirates. 30-second timeout, 42 seconds to play in the game. It's Alburnett 57, Central City 45. It looks like Lucas Greif will check in for the Wildcats, as will Max Arthur. Probably getting some of those players with a lot of fouls out of the game.
Defense, offense, probably.
So the Wildcats, in all likelihood, probably not going to be able to come back in this one. But I'll tell you what, down 12 against a really good Alburnett team.
I agree.
I said it last night. We're not in the business of moral victories here on our basketball games, but this is a game on paper they should have gotten beat pretty handily, and they've been able to make it a competitive contest. The benches haven't been emptied. That's definitely a win in one respect for the Wildcats. And still 42 seconds of game to play.
Right.
Alburnett and the Wildcats back on the floor. Alburnett basketball. Sokup is going to throw it in. He has it in front of the home crowd, just past the front court. Gets it in to Osborne, and he is going to be fouled just before he was going to go up for a layup. It was on the floor, but they are in the double bonus, so we'll go to the line to shoot 2 regardless. Benton was the one that fouled him.
That's Mackay's second foul.
And like you said, defense for offense here as both Matthew Klosterman and Marcus Schellhorn head over to the scorer's table. As Braden Osborne will shoot a pair for the Pirates. First one on the way is good. He knocks down the first. Anthony Amelkoski also enters the game for the Pirates as Jordan Caton comes out, as well as the younger Klosterman and Schellhorn re-entering. Both of them have 4 fouls, if I'm not mistaken. Osborne to shoot his second free throw. He misses that one.
Yep. Marcus with the rebound. He goes to Aiden. Aiden passes it over to Matt. Matt's going to stop and pop a 3, and it goes in and out. Marcus about has the rebound, but isn't able to come down with it, and Mackay Benton's going to foul.
Andrew Osman was fouled there as Benton fouled intentionally, and
That's
now he'll
third.
take the trip down to the free throw line to shoot a pair. 58-45 with just under 30 seconds to play, as Osman will shoot 2 here in the double bonus. First one on the way from Osman is good. That gives him 12 on the night. He's averaging 17, so we've kept him short of his average here with 29 seconds to play. Second one on the way. He makes both. Give him 13 on the night. 15-point lead for the Pirates, for the Pirates.
There's a swing over to Aiden. Aiden Klosterman with the shot. Doesn't get it to fall. Alburnett's going to push it, and they're just going to turn around, and
probably going to hold it out here. Coach Carlson's told him to call off the fouls.
Yep.
And Adam Neighbor will stand in the half-court logo and hold it out for these final 5 seconds. Clock rolls down. 2 seconds. And there's the final horn. That's going to do it. Our final score in this boys varsity contest, Alburnett 60, Central City 45. So ultimately a 15-point loss for the Wildcats, but they had it within 5 in that fourth quarter. Couldn't quite finish it off against a pretty good Alburnett team.
Yeah. Just, some inconsistency. We end up scoring 40, we score 29 points in the second half, and we scored 16 points in the first half, so that's a killer, probably that 16-4, even though we were only down 8 points at halftime, giving up 16 points in that second quarter, and then we only scored 4. It's kind of hard to overcome that. We did battle. I'll just do real quick. You can Mackay Benton had 16 second half points for a total of 21 points, and Aiden Klosterman had 11 second half points, ended up with 13 total points. So again, you can see just the scoring discrepancies in the first and the second half. Aiden Klosterman had 5 points in the first half, and then Braden threw in 2 points, and Dane Price had 4 points. So that just got to come out like a good team like this. We mentioned go back and forth. It's like you just can't have those droughts.
For the Pirates, they had a very balanced scoring attack here tonight. They were led by Andrew Osman. The senior averages 17 a night. He finished with 13. Braden Osborne also had 13, so they both led the team. Adam Neighbor had 12. Then Gavin Sokup was the 4th player in double figures with 10. Mason Neighbor and Jordan Caton both had 3. And Titan Bowers and Anthony Amelkoski rounded out the scoring effort for the Pirates. They both finished the contest with 2 points for Alburnett. So one more time, final score, Alburnett 60, Central City 45. Any final thoughts before we sign off here tonight, Karth?
Two pretty good competitive games. We knew when you play Alburnett that's the case, and the girls really, to be honest, I was expecting a closer game. And granted, it did get down to whatever it was, 17-17, but, our girls pretty much controlled that game.
After they had it tied up there, it really was all Central City the rest of the way.
And even when they came back, I really still felt like we were dominating that game. So the girls looked, I thought a lot of good things from the girls, and then, we knew the guys going in was going to be a tough game, and they played well. We just kind of talked about it. Just, a lot of little things, a lot of freshman, sophomore things, going up against some good seniors, and a good competitive game. Played them tough, and some I know it sucks to lose, but, some things to continue to build on.
Certainly some building blocks in place for the Central City basketball team. So the boys and girls will be back in action on Friday at Starmont.
Yep.
And then Wildcat sports broadcast will be back on next Tuesday, a week from tonight, the 25th, as the Wildcats host the Wildcats of Maquoketa Valley for a conference girls and boys doubleheader. So thank you to everyone who's tuned in tonight. For my partner, Cindy McCarthy, I'm David Warrington saying good night and go Cats.